Chapter 387. The monster forest stretches for hundreds of kilometers and it is close to the Sea of Sin. One day passes when the blood moon alternates with the day. Lin Luoran finally understands why monsters here are so aggressive when she really lives here. There was no gap between the battles. Within a year, the battles were even split between summer and winter. When she arrived, it was the beginning of summer. After she temporarily settled down halfway up the mountain, winter came like a sudden clap of thunder. First, she wakes up one day and finds that the sky begins to snow. She jumps to the canopy and looks down. Only then does she find that the monster forest, which stretches for hundreds of kilometers, has been covered by snow overnight and becomes a vast expanse of whiteness. In just a few hours, it has changed from summer to winter. The fruits and various berries in the forest, which can be eaten by low-rank herbivorous monsters such as rabbits of fire and jumping sheep, are buried in the snow overnight and wither. Lin Luoran doesn't pay attention to this problem at first. She just feels it a pity because Lin Luoran is actually quite interested in many species. Lin Luoran, who has space, doesn't know what kind of changes the situation of the monster forest will bring if there is no transition season. However, in less than a week, she first discovers that winter in the monster forest is really terrible in a way. She is tanned. It doesn't mean that Lin Luoran is crazy about beauty. Cultivators' metabolism is very fast and their cells are very active. Under normal circumstances, melanin can't precipitate in time. How can she be tanned? This means that the white sun above her head has power different from what it looks like in this snowy season. The snow has not melted. Is it because the wavelength of the sun is abnormal? Lin Luoran is not an expert in this field. She can't figure it out after studying for a long time. She has to give up. This day, the weather is sunny and the heavy snow that has lasted for several days suddenly stops. Lin Luoran comes out of the cave that she uses as her residence. The snow has already reached her knees. Lin Luoran looks at the date and thinks that it will not snow again in the next half of the day. She decides to start working. For her, the deal with the white bear would only delay her time in the monster forest, but the safety factor would be improved a lot. Of course, there are gains and losses. Except for the final deal, as a rank 8 monster, the white bear doesn't have the right to protect Lin Luoran. She has to rely on herself to survive in the mountains where high-level monsters roam. Every second is a test for Lin Luoran's life when she is out of the territory of rank 8 monsters. It was a big test. Lin Luoran looks at the top of the mountain. If she had really broken through the mountain as she had planned, she would have been torn into pieces and thrown down the col like the two-headed antelope. At the beginning, she was also dubious about the white bear's words. Until a few nights ago, the white bear took her to quietly follow behind a two-headed antelope. The two-headed antelope also tried to climb the mountain. However, it turned into minced meat and was thrown down within a few seconds after reaching the top of the mountain. During the whole process, Lin Luoran only heard a low and powerful roar, which proved that the mysterious rank 9 monster did attack. The two-headed antelope was decapitated, which was beyond doubt. If you hadn't met Grandpa Bear, you would have ended up like it after you went up the mountain. The white bear takes Lin Luoran to the kennel. Only the 4 antelope's horns are still intact and they roll down from the high mountain. The other parts of the two-headed antelope have been broken into pieces. Lin Luoran and the white bear come very fast. Other monsters are still afraid of the roar of the monster on the top of the mountain and dare not move. Therefore, the monster bolus of the two-headed antelope is preserved. The white bear digs it out and throws it to Lin Luoran like playing marbles. The low-key brilliance and abundant reiki indicate that it is the monster bolus of a rank 7 monster. Lin Luoran makes a conclusion as soon as she gets it. Does the white bear want to say that even a rank 7 monster is no match for the monster bolus on the top of the mountain? Lin Luoran purses her lips tightly without saying a word. What about her? She is just in the early bearing essence period and she can't even defeat a rank 7 monster. If she wants to climb over the mountain, is there only one way that the white bear said? Lin Luoran can't think of why the white bear lies to a little female cultivator like her. Subconsciously, she even avoids thinking about what she should do if what the white bear said is false. Lin Luoran stops thinking about the past. Her eyes wander and fall on a big tree with a coxcomb top. She decides to cut down this tree. The only drawback is that it seems to be the territory of another high-rank monster. Lin Luoran smiles faintly. The white bear is very powerful and it seems that it has many enemies. She is not afraid of one more. Lin Luoran suddenly slashes out a sharp sword light. After one slash, the big tree falls from the root. Lin Luoran turns into a Hercules as if her tail has been burned. She drags the iron Phoebe, which is thousands of years old, and quickly sneaks back to the territory of the white bear. She makes a lot of noise. The trace of the big tree dragging on the ground is obviously telling the monster that this tree is stolen by the white bear. As soon as Lin Luoran steps into the territory of the white bear, a black shadow rushes to her. One black shadow and one white shadow are fighting fiercely. Lin Luoran takes a long breath, picks up the bright sword and starts to cut those branches. When the white bear comes back angrily and sweaty, it sees Lin Luoran carefully planning the wood, which is cut into 2 inches thick. It becomes curious and temporarily gives up the previous experience. Can I build a house in this way? The white bear knocks on the iron Phoebe. The wood doesn't break under its great force. Instead, it makes a dull sound. A house made of solid wood must be solid. In terms of material selection, Lin Luoran has a good eye. The white bear feels that it is worthwhile to fight with the black bull just now. Lin Luoran has long known the sturdiness of this wood. If she doesn't use her personal ability of bearing essence, she may not be able to cut it down with one sword. She also spends a lot of effort to break down the whole iron Phoebe like this. Of course not. It is used as a wallboard. If you want to build a house, there is still a lot of preliminary preparation. Lin Luoran answers angrily. In fact, with her ability, building a cabin is really a piece of cake. However, the white bear wants to make a deal with her and it will definitely not let her pass by the standard of a cabin. Strictly speaking, Lin Luoran's current task is to build a house that meets the requirements of the white bear on the hillside with the terrain and environment, a house instead of a house. At this moment, Lin Luoran wishes she had majored in architecture. How nice it would be if she had studied the branch of ancient architecture when she was studying ancient literature. This would definitely be a huge and time-consuming project, especially in a snow-covered season. Lin Luoran rubs her hands, which are frozen red. She once again finds a depressing place in the monster forest in winter. In addition to the white sun above her head, even the snow under her feet is many times colder than the snow outside. It's really bad news. The place Lin Luoran finally chooses is close to the small waterfall she first discovered. The path here is winding and secluded, which is in line with the artistic beauty of ancient Huaxia. There are mountains and water, and the view is wide. You can overlook the beautiful scenery of the waterfall hitting the stone. For the white bear, who is obviously vulgar but pretends to be elegant, it should be very suitable, right? Anyway, Lin Luoran will not admit that leaning against the mountain wall can save her one wall when she builds the house. Lin Luoran clears a large open space near the waterfall and starts to lay the foundation. She originally planned to build the house with strong wood like iron Phoebe, but the white bear is quite demanding. He also asks for heating halfway. Lin Luoran feels that the white bear is very hateful. This is totally a fart. It is true that the winter in the monster forest is extremely cold. However, does a rank 8 monster also need to keep warm? Lin Luoran is a little angry, but she has to change her previous idea. If she wants to keep warm, she can either use the fireplace or the wall. All wood materials are not practical. Should she use a mixture of brick and wood? Lin Luoran accepts her fate. She is not as powerful as the white bear. What else can she do? She has to give in. She changes the design drawing and changes the original intention. Lin Luoran has no experience. With the help of spells and flying swords, it takes her a week to lay the foundation and lay the drainage system. Lin Luoran doesn't have any experience. Chapter 388. It's the first night watch. Today, it's the third night watch. After being covered by snow for a long time, the soil has become a hard frozen soil layer to a large extent. It is impossible to dig with ordinary tools, let alone find sticky soil for making bricks. Lin Luoran walks through the snow-covered mountain forest. Her exposed skin has been tanned into a light honey color. At this moment, she looks like a vigorous female hunter in the forest. She is far from the fairy-like female cultivator. To be more precise, she is a female architect. Lin Luoran curls her lips. She is also a chef and a landscape designer. She jumps gently onto a protruding rock. The surface of the snow-covered rock is a little slippery. Lin Luoran looks at the rock and pushes it aside. She really finds slightly moist soil under the rock. This trick works every time she caught crabs when she was a child. She doesn't expect that it can be applied here, and it is quite easy to understand. There is a stream behind Li's village. The water has almost dried up in winter. Lin Luoran once went there to catch crabs. It looks like a cobblestone with a layer of dry moss. After breaking it open, there is moist soil and bubbles under it. Crabs are hiding in them. Rocks can also store water and resist low temperature. It's the same principle. Lin Luoran takes soil under the rock and starts to make bricks. In ancient times, there was a saying about big tile-roofed houses with blue bricks. To make blue bricks, you don't need to add blue paint. Clay rich in iron should be red bricks after normal baking. To make blue bricks, you need to add coal after firing and seal it in the kiln. After watering, the steam reacts with the high-temperature charcoal in the kiln. Finally, the red high-rank iron oxide and ferric oxide are gradually reduced to blue-gray low-rank iron oxide and ferrous oxide. Only in this way can you make blue bricks. Lin Luoran was neither a science student nor a kiln factory worker. She doesn't know such a simple truth. Fortunately, she is a cultivator in the bearing essence period. Fire wacken is not a problem for her. Besides, the kiln for making bricks is dug near the waterfall. After many experiments, she accidentally succeeds. Is it really a wonderful brick? Of course, it has been 2 months since she went up the mountain. Of course, there is no cement in this place. There is no cement in ancient houses either. However, Lin Luoran finds that the adhesion of the gum tree juice and a kind of polygonum powder together with the ground rice flour is no worse than that of cement. Most importantly, the polygonum that grew under the rubber tree neutralized the weakness of the rubber tree's sap, which would melt when exposed to heat. The white bear is the one who reminds her about the wilted grass that is pressed under the snow. After firing a large number of green bricks, Lin Luoran finally starts to build a house. For the sake of aesthetics, she gave up on the idea of building a wall and finally decided to build the house into a brick structure that was 1/3 above the ground and decorated with wood carvings. As for warmth, they would have to rely on geothermal energy. The green stones on the ground are also taken from a mountain wall. Building such a big house is no longer a matter of the white bear alone. Lin Luoran often sees sneaky shadows wandering at night. According to the white bear, there are more and more high-level monsters visiting its territory at night. It means that whether for the sake of face or the inside, if the house built by Lin Luoran can't match the commotion, the white bear will lose its face, then the deal between it and Lin Luoran will naturally be invalid. However, on this mountain, the relationship between high-level monsters doesn't seem to be so disharmonious as in the monster forest. Lin Luoran has no way to prove whether it is because high-rank monsters are more intelligent or not. In order to build a house, she often runs all over the forest. Under the mountain, in order to survive the long winter, the scarcity of food has made many monsters crazy. The forest has become more dangerous. Without food, herbivorous monsters such as rabbits of fire and jumping sheep are all skin and bones. If they want to reduce consumption, they have to stay in the cave for a long time. The high-level monsters hunting them can't find the rabbit holes covered by snow. They are so hungry that their claws and feet are weak. When they see a living creature like Lin Luoran, they will rush to her desperately. Lin Luoran is often tired to deal with them. Because the food chain is intertwined, they are not comfortable, and Lin Luoran is also uncomfortable. When she occasionally sees the bodies of starving monsters deep in the snow, although she usually hates their killing, Lin Luoran also looks forward to it when she stands silently. When will the long winter in the monster forest pass? Even if it is half a year, there are at least 3 months left. Lin Luoran accepts her fate and drags a tree similar to Agarwood back. The house next to the waterfall has been built with blue brick walls. In order to match the height of the white bear, these blue brick walls as the base of the wall almost reach Lin Luoran's head. On the blue bricks, Lin Luoran will use wood carvings. The walls are also movable wooden windows. The house with a high roof must be at least 7 or 8 meters high. In the past 3 months, in addition to building such a large house, she also looks for some special trees, roots, and stones in the monster forest from time to time to pave the way to decorate the house. One day, when Lin Luoran is polishing the iron Phoebe with Wacken, she suddenly has a tragic thought. If she wants to build a house alone, she must be a landscape designer as well as a furniture maker. When will it take her a long time to do that? Lin Luoran has thought more than once that she might as well try to climb the mountain. However, when she thinks of the low beast roar a few months ago, she feels uncertain. Lin Luoran knows that if she can't overcome this obstacle, she will not only be controlled by the white bear, but also crack her Taoist heart because of fear. Everlasting. This is the devil in the heart of cultivation. She throws the whole tree on the ground. On the other side, she piles up the beams made of iron Phoebe. Can the agarwood be used to carve the window? Lin Luoran has a well-thought-out plan for the whole house. She can even burn the blue bricks, so she is not afraid to make black tiles. Lin Luoran is afraid of the rank 8 monster, and she is not sure that she can climb over the mountain on her own, so she stays on the hillside for a long time. However, watching a building complex coming into being and showing its outline bit by bit, the satisfaction is no less than that of studying a magic circle. These are all fields that Lin Luoran has never touched when she was an ordinary person. She sighs at the convenience of cultivation and more daydreams. If one day she can really seek immortality, there are all kinds of mysteries in the world. If she can have enough time to calm down and think about them, how happy it will be. The night comes as scheduled. The white bear is a little reluctant to visit Lin Luoran's temporary residence cave. It is spacious and warm. It is really comfortable to stay here. However, this little human girl has become bolder recently. She even says that the snow outside is cold, and if you want to drink steaming fish soup, you have to come to her cave. The white bear is not very happy. Didn't it go deep into the cold pond to catch the fish? Why does it sound like she is doing charity? The firewood makes a crackling sound because there is moisture in the firewood, so it makes a crackling sound when it burns. When the wet firewood is burned, the thick smoke is drawn into the mountain wall by a bamboo tube. After winding through countless places, it comes out of the cliff where demon beasts rarely go. This human girl is very cautious. Even though she is in her territory, she is afraid that other demon beasts will find out where she lives. The white bear can't help telling Lin Luoran several times. High-rank monsters gradually become intelligent. Even if they can't speak, they know that killing monsters for boluses is not the right way. They can absorb Reiki in the air. As for why they still hunt low-rank monsters, it is because they are trapped in this dead monster forest. If they don't kill each other, they will really go crazy. A stone pot is hanging high and the fish soup has been simmered. On another fire, there is barbecued meat. The rabbit of fire is so thin that the white bear thinks it can only be eaten as a snack. Lin Luoran doesn't greet it. She lowers her head and carves a decoration with the help of the fire. Her fingers are moving around, and sawdust and shavings fall all over the open space around her feet. The white bear drinks the fish soup and says vaguely, I don't know what you humans think. In order to cross this mountain, you are even willing to be a servant for monsters. Lin Luoran doesn't look up. She answers calmly, compared to that, isn't a monster that imitates human beings more strange? Whether it learns cooking or asks Lin Luoran to build a house for it, isn't it imitating human beings? Lin Luoran has an indescribable weird feeling. The white bear's hand stops eating. After a short silence, it laughs so hard that its teeth are exposed. It doesn't seem to be as stressful as usual. Who told you that I want to be a human? Isn't it? Lin Luoran is stunned for a moment. The white bear claps its paws. Compared to this, do you want to know why I am so sure that you can cross the mountain? Chapter 389. The second chapter. About 3,000 winters ago, there was a monster of wood. Oh, do you know what a monster of wood is? His original body is said to be a sycamore. He heard that there was an immortal preaching on Mount Penglai, so he came here eagerly. The firelight is reflected on the face of the white bear. When the huge bear's head is immersed in memory, it feels like a sad girl holding her cheek. Well, this description is a bit absurd. The main reason is that the content of the white bear's memory is too absurd for Lin Luoran. Is it talking about the ancestor of the monsters of wood who is said to have successfully found Penglai and learned a lot of arts of nature? 3,000 winters, that is, 3,000 years ago. The time and the event are exactly the same. This can't be more coincidental. Are you talking about a delicate tree monster that looks like a man or a woman? Lin Luoran takes a deep breath. The disgusting expression of a dreamy girl finally disappears. It looks at her in surprise. You know him? Judging from your bone age, you have not even passed 50 winters. How do you know the monster of wood? He is right. Human beings love to lie. Lin Luoran doesn't care about these monsters' belittling of human beings. She suddenly realizes something. The method you mentioned, is it how the monsters of wood passed through this mountain? The white bear stares at her with contempt. He fought with the one on the top of the mountain and swaggered over. You little girl, don't you have a brain? Lin Luoran is speechless by the white bear and rolls her eyes. This big bear looks simple and honest. If it really saw the ancestor of the monsters of wood, wouldn't it be more than 3,000 years old? After 3,000 years, even a broken bowl has become an antique. It's normal for a bear to be smarter than a human being. More importantly, a bear that was more than 3,000 years old should have a comprehensive understanding of the entire demonic beast forest and this mountain. Therefore, the plan it proposed should be feasible. Lin Luoran feels that she is more energetic when carving the window. After a long time, when she recalls this period, she realizes how cunning the white bear is. Every time she is about to give up or get bored, it will put some bait to keep her hanging. On the day of the completion of the house, it is snowing heavily. Lin Luoran looks at the result of her hard work for more than 5 months. She can hardly believe that every brick and tile of the building complex covering an area of more than 10 acres was built by her own hands. The waterfall is diverted into the house by Lin Luoran as drinking water. The pipes connected to the bamboo tubes make up for the shortcoming that the old house relies on the well. These thin bamboo tubes are almost as convenient as the tap water in modern society. Because of the accumulated snow, the entire house was wrapped in a layer of silvery white during the winter. However, there was still a man-made stream that flowed through the building complex, and there were fish swimming happily within it. People could soak in the hot spring, play in the water, and catch fish. Under the stream, the white bear took out its savings over the years and laid many monster boluses of rank 6 and 7 fire monsters under the stream. With the nourishment of fire reiki, it built an artificial hot spring resort. Geothermal heating is based on the same principle. Anyway, the white bear is rich. In summer, it can replace the fire monster boluses under the indoor floor with water, and then it will become a cooling air conditioner. It is really luxurious. Each door is at least more than 3 meters high, which is for the convenience of the owner of the house to enter and exit. The furniture is made by Lin Luoran according to the furniture of the Ming and Qing dynasties. Compared with ordinary people's furniture, it is 2 times larger. Painting is a problem. In the end, a layer of transparent resin is painted, which gives the house a sense of elegance and simplicity. It is a pleasant surprise for Lin Luoran, a stylist who has several jobs, to come here. Of course, she can't be satisfied. The White Bear, the owner, must approve it. Lin Luoran leads it all the way. Lin Luoran doesn't know if the White Bear has really seen a human's house. Although it doesn't comment on Lin Luoran's work, it doesn't discourage her either. It seems that it is satisfied. Walking through the bluestone drainage channel, Lin Luoran is also very satisfied. When the snow melts in summer, the snow on the roof will melt into water. The perfect drainage system will ensure that this building complex will not be swallowed by the waterfall that suddenly becomes larger. The hollowed wall, the root carvings on the corner where there must be ivy climbing in summer, the vase with the painting of 8 immortals crossing the sea, the hexagonal waste stool, and the wire drawing gums, which one of them is not made by Lin Luoran? Lin Luoran vaguely feels that building a house is no different from personal cultivation, which requires ingenuity in every aspect. She is about to think about the mystery, but the White Bear informs her that there are guests coming and it asks her to prepare. Who is coming? With doubts, Lin Luoran accepts her fate as a little maid. She was so smart at that time. Can the extra set of big bowls and plates come in handy now? Lin Luoran decides to make a big meal. The main purpose is to reward herself for her hard work for half a year. The mountain is blocked by heavy snow. Regular food in the monster forest is very scarce, let alone a big feast with cold dishes and hot plates. It is the first time for Lin Luoran to take out ingredients from space. Rabbit meat with taro is a very common home-cooked dish in the middle of Chuan province. However, this time she uses rabbit of fire. The wolf meat is stewed with radish and it tastes almost the same as beef. There is no shortage of fish. She can catch them directly from the stream. Some are made into fish with bean sauce, some are made into soup with mushrooms, and some are made into grilled fish. After eating rabbit of fire for so long, rabbit head is dry and meatless. The White Bear always dislikes it. Lin Luoran has been away from home for a long time and she misses the taste of spicy rabbit head very much. She quietly stores a lot of rabbit heads that should have been discarded in space. This time, the White Bear and its guests are lucky. Lin Luoran takes out various spices and braises the rabbit head. There is fresh lettuce that has just been pulled from the black soil in space. She shreds it with carrots and cucumbers. It is a refreshing salad. She can make tomato egg soup with the eggs she picked up last time. Lin Luoran is wandering in space. She is afraid that going in and out of space will arouse the White Bear's interest in sacred beads. She seldom comes here. The Fire Phoenix and the other 2 are so bored that they can't stop talking to her. Lin Luoran is picking water spinach in the vegetable field and the Fire Phoenix is very chatty. She goes out with a pile of vegetables. The White Bear comes to check once on the way. It doesn't care how these colorful vegetables appear. Obviously, it cares more about how these, grass, can be eaten. It has never had the right to comment on Lin Luoran's cooking. It has to pinch its nose and go out to receive guests. Lin Luoran said that humans should drink tea when they receive guests. This human girl has a lot of tea with light reiki. It has to ask for them to make tea. Lin Luoran throws a few cans of tea to the big White Bear. Then she has time and space to cook. About an hour and a half later, all the dishes on the table are ready and she can see the so-called guests. Well, it turns out that there is more than one. There is a squirrel with 3 tails, a black bull that is taller than the White Bear, and a python that is higher than the table without a stool. Are these all the White Bear's friends? They look at the house and then at herself. Lin Luoran deeply suspects that these monsters are actually here to watch the fun. Seeing 2 slender raccoons come in arm, Lin Luoran knows that there are monsters who have gone to visit other rooms. More than one table. Do they need to add another table? Lin Luoran has dinner with 2 tables of monsters. She soon finds that these friends of the white bear have one thing in common: they can all speak human language, not to mention what rank they are. Not all of them can't even roast meat like the white bear. For example, the raccoon sisters talk elegantly like a pair of ladies. Lin Luoran also contributes the newly brewed fruit wine for this dinner. Not only monsters are happy, but she is also drunk when the dinner is over. She is sleeping soundly on the table. The drunk black bull is tongue-tied. It presses the white bear with its hooves. For the sake of this dinner, let's forget about stealing my iron Phoebe. The white bear rolled its eyes and looked at it with disdain. The raccoon sisters cover their mouths and laugh. This human is very interesting. Let her help us build a house, okay? The white bear shakes its head. She wants to go to the other side of the mountain. The monster forest can't keep her. The raccoon sisters' faces change. If it is easy to go to the other side of the mountain, why do they have to be trapped in this boring forest and suppress their personal ability to rank 8? I heard that one has a bad temper recently. It is a pity that such a funny human can't come back. The python sighs and swallows a plate of dubon fish. It closes its eyes and says while digesting. Chapter 390. The third update is a few minutes late. It won't be included in tomorrow's update. Summer comes suddenly. One morning, shortly after monsters come to congratulate the white bear on his moving, Lin Luoran feels the temperature drop sharply. She gets up and finds that the snow begins to melt. The temperature rises overnight and the snow melts. After getting up, Lin Luoran even sees a flash flood. The accumulated snow for 6 months rushes down from the top of the mountain after melting. Lin Luoran is deeply touched by those low-rank monsters who don't have time to celebrate the end of winter and those who are drowned. It is coldest when the snow melts. Lin Luoran can't help but take out the rabbit fur coat in the space and put it on. The white bear steps on the muddy water back to the house. Lin Luoran is wondering where it has gone so early. However, the white bear asks her to pack up. What's going on? I will send you over the mountain today. Hurry up. If you miss this opportunity, you will have to wait for another year if you want to leave under the watch of the rank 9 monster. Over the mountain. Lin Luoran is so happy that her brain goes blank for a while. It has been a year since she entered the space node in Bohai Bay. Lin Luoran's heart is not extinguished when she thinks of Mount Penglai. Instead, it becomes hotter. Some people's obsessions are like brewing wine. After time, they will not lose their enthusiasm. Instead, after a long time of sealed fermentation, they will have stronger emotional fluctuations on the day they open the jar. For Lin Luoran, the longer she spends searching for Penglai, the more she wants to find it. She has almost nothing to pack up. She immediately sets off with the white bear. There are puddles of different depths everywhere on the hillside. This is a common scene after the snow melts. Although the road is wet and slippery, the greenery on the mountain still changes the monster forest which has been covered with snow for the whole winter. Towering ancient trees and vines are washed by the snow water and they look particularly bright. Many new grass buds buried deep in the snow also get a glimpse of the sun. Lin Luoran follows the white bear and walks through the forest. Its speed is extremely fast and it is not dragged down by its seemingly cumbersome body. They go higher and higher. When they are about to see the top of the mountain, Lin Luoran thinks she has to face the rank 9 monster. However, the white bear suddenly stops. Let's wait. Wait for what? The white bear doesn't say and Lin Luoran doesn't ask. She doesn't care how the white bear sends her over. Lin Luoran is very happy that it keeps its promise. Of course, deep in her heart, Lin Luoran has also doubted whether the white bear will lead her to death. Such an unscrupulous idea is overturned by the unequal strength of the two. To be frank, with its personal ability, it doesn't need the help of a rank 9 monster to kill her. After waiting for about an hour, the white bear pushes away the weeds and takes Lin Luoran to another road. She followed behind and felt that the terrain was getting higher. However, it seemed that they had really bypassed the 9th rank monster and reached the other side of the mountain. Was this possible? Lin Luoran feels that her heart is pounding. Her face is flushed with excitement, which adds a layer of soft color to her honey-colored skin. Lin, and Lin, day, T, Lin, Lin. Lin, this is your only chance to flip over the mountain mist. The white bear is very light. Lin Luoran doesn't find that it uses any wacken to help it, and it is almost floating on the stone path. As for the hot spring it mentioned, she could already see it after walking for an hour. This place is steaming. Judging from the terrain, it is very close to the top of the mountain. According to the white bear, it is also an extremely risky plan. However, it is much safer than breaking in by force. Lin Luoran squeezes the blue jade in her hand. The mermaid said that this beautiful jade can stop the rank 9 monster for a while. If anything happens, she has to take a risk. Lin Luoran is sharp-eyed and finds that there is indeed a long and narrow path extending to the other side of the misty spring. The white bear didn't lie to her. She is overjoyed and her face relaxes. When she is about to go over, the white bear suddenly becomes alert and stops her. You even missed the yearly appointment for this human girl? Lin Luoran is startled by a female voice behind the mist. Why was there a woman talking here? No, in the monster forest, there are probably only female monsters except her. Lin Luoran doesn't associate this cold but refined female voice with the monster on the top of the mountain. After all, the impression of the mysterious rank 9 monster on Lin Luoran is the dull roar and the broken body of the two-headed sheep a few months ago. The white bear stands still as if it is facing a formidable enemy. The female voice is angry and resentful. You know that I am sober only on this day of the year. Why do you treat me like an enemy? The white bear's voice is a little bitter. Do you know that you killed the two-headed sheep that we took care of for a while when you lost your mind this year? The female voice pauses. She seems to be frightened by what the white bear said. I don't know, not knowing is more sad than forgetting. Forgetting meant that he remembered something. Not knowing meant that he was clueless about everything that had happened. Lin Luoran looks serious. Hearing such a dialogue, she has realized that it is the rank 9 monster on the top of the mountain who is hiding behind the thick white mist. She is hesitant. She feels uneasy because she has peeped into the secret of the rank 9 monster and the white bear. If you know too much, you won't live long. Not to mention that she has found it out. It can be called a gorgeous adultery. She looks at the white bear beside her. Are they two monsters who fall in love for one day a year? She feels weird. Let her go. The white bear is silent for a long time and then it says. Lin Luoran's heart is in her throat immediately. There is silence behind the white mist for a long time. It seems to be a cautious trial. Lin Luoran's heart is not at ease. It feels like hundreds of millions of years have passed. Some desolate laughter comes from behind the white mist, which makes Lin Luoran have a bad feeling. In the past, you said you didn't want to be trapped in this monster forest for a lifetime. You couldn't cross the Sea of Sin but you still wanted to see the scenery on the other side of the mountain. So I challenged the irrational rank 9 monster for you. It died but it became a relief. Who knows, according to the rules here, I will replace it as the defense line of this mountain. We can't get out. We can't get out of the forest for the rest of our lives. There's only one day of clarity in a year when the snow melts. If you don't muddle-headedly become a killer, you'll die. This forest is basically a hunting ground for those shameless immortals to rear demon beasts. Since we can't get out, why should I let this human pass? The female voice seems to want to talk about the grievances of so many years. The white bear is ashamed and speechless, but Lin Luoran can't bear it. Was this vast forest really a hunting ground delineated by the immortals on Mount Penglai, as the rank 9 monster beast said? Therefore, at the highest point of the mountain, no matter who the successor is, there will always be a rank 9 monster as the defense line unwillingly. Therefore, The other side of the forest is the dark sea of sin. So, there is such a weird season in the forest. Summer and winter are equal, and no one can see through each other. The harsh living environment not only prevents the captive demon beasts from losing their wild nature, but also effectively controls the overflow of demon beasts. If the Penglai immortals who did all this really wanted to hunt, would a monster that had developed intelligence and could speak the human language be considered as prey for them because they were bored? An impulse surges in Lin Luoran's heart. Please let me go. Let me ask on behalf of the so-called true immortals. Do they still respect the Tao of nature? She takes a step forward. The thick white mist wets her temples. Under her honey-colored skin, her eyes are particularly firm. The white bear dislikes Lin Luoran for talking too much, but it can't deny it. At this moment, the stubborn human in front of it is like the one who dares to challenge the rank 9 monster for its sake before she becomes its successor. Behind the slowly flowing white mist, a scornful laugh comes after a long time. You think you can do it? A rank 9 monster comparable to a divinization cultivator is qualified to question Lin Luoran. Although Lin Luoran feels like being slapped hard, she still clenches her fists stubbornly. Yes, me. I crossed the sea of sin to find Penglai. I won't stop here. The female voice says, oh, and a shadow appears. Lin Luoran only sees a vague slim figure pushing her hard. She rolls down the narrow and long path like a rolling gourd. Even if there are some secrets that can't be heard, there is no need to kill her suddenly, right? Chapter 391. You are still soft-hearted. The white bear holds his hands and his voice softens. The figure behind the thick fog is still looming. The female voice doesn't answer for a long time. The sky is getting dark. They still haven't seen each other this year. The figure behind the thick fog has left quietly. The white bear sits alone by the hot spring for a while and then it also gets up and goes down the mountain. When the bloody moonlight fades away, the person will lose her mind again and become a rank 9 powerhouse who doesn't recognize anyone. The white bear is not ready to challenge the dignity of the supreme powerhouse. A large part of its house still needs to be decorated by the white bear. There are also many recipes left by Lin Luoran that can be studied. What did human beings say? Flowers and plants can be grown in the house. Some plants can be used to cook dishes. Some plants can be extracted from the fibers and made into cloth and then cut into clothes. Oh, plant fibers can also be made into paper. Anyway, human beings are very particular about many things. If the white bear understands these things, it will have a fulfilling life for a long time. For a high-level monster like the white bear who has developed intelligence and lived for a long time, it is too familiar with this large monster forest. There is no pressure to survive and the days become extremely monotonous year after year. But now it is different. Maybe it can try to learn to be a human being like the raccoon sisters. Humans are quite interesting to look at. The white bear remembers that the petite Lin Luoran can build a building complex of more than 10 acres out of thin air under pressure. It feels that it is very hard to learn to be a human being. Besides, it has a long time. It doesn't lack time at all. That's great. Lin Luoran is a real rolling gourd. Rolling down from a high mountain thousands of meters above sea level, the narrow and long path is not smooth. If it were not for bushes on both sides, she might fall into the mountain stream. Even so, when Lin Luoran falls into the stream at the bottom of the mountain in a coma, her snow-white rabbit fur coat is still cut into pieces by sharp rocks. Fortunately, she is wearing protean dress inside which prevents physical damage. Otherwise, her face will inevitably be damaged and she will become a big flower face. The stream water after melting snow is bitterly cold. Lin Luoran is lying in the stream in a coma. Soon her hands and face are frozen. It is getting dark but she still doesn't wake up. Lin Luoran is about to become the first cultivator to be frozen to death since the world of cultivation was created. A dog barks. A hound with an excellent sense of smell finds Lin Luoran in a coma by the stream and it growls back. A hunter with a big fur hat, a short bow in his hand, and 2 white foxes in his hands pushed aside the weeds and came to the stream. Lin Luoran happens to wake up at this moment. She does not open her eyes but sees the surrounding scene with her spiritual mind. When she sees the hunter with a dark face, she is very happy. He must have come to the other side of the mountain. There were no humans in the demonic beast forest. The hunter's skin was very dark and very sturdy. At first glance, one would think that he was an adult. But if one looked closely at his eyes, one would find that they were clean and spotless. It was the simplicity of a young man who was ignorant of the world. Lin Luoran sees such a pair of clean eyes. She doesn't want to scare this ordinary boy, so she decides to keep pretending to be unconscious. Firstly, she must look very scary at this moment. A heavily injured person suddenly woke up, and it was deep in the wilderness. The young hunter was suspicious, and if she wanted to find out more information about this place, it would take a lot of effort. Secondly, besides monsters, there are also human beings in the alien space of Penglai. It is not recorded in the ancient books of the monsters of wood. Lin Luoran is not mentally prepared. She can only wait for things to develop. Perhaps, the person who wrote the ancient book doesn't care about these mortals who are like ants. After checking Lin Luoran's injury, the dark boy is a little embarrassed. She is obviously not easy to move. However, the stream water is cold. If she doesn't move, she will die. The dark-skinned boy pacifies the hound that is growling in a low voice. He goes to the nearby bushes with a machete and cuts off 2 thick branches. He makes a simple stretcher with mountain vines and lays the soft branches on it. Then he moves Lin Luoran onto the stretcher. Lin Luoran praises the intelligence of the hunter in her heart. She lets him treat her quietly. She can't move her dirty and wet clothes, but she can still force the cold out of her body quietly. After being dragged by the boy for a while, Lin Luoran feels that the blood flowing in her body is warm again. After practicing, Lin Luoran feels that the wakan flowing in her body seems to have improved a lot. She sighs that the reiki in the monster forest is rich, which is totally different from the thin reiki environment outside the earth. It is difficult to walk on the muddy road. The young hunter has to drag a simple tree trailer, so he slows down. It is not until dusk that Lin Luoran sees a small village with thatched roofs and yellow mud bricks as walls. The mountain is poor. Not many people are willing to light up lights at night. Lin Luoran, who was poor when she was a child, can understand this detail very well. Therefore, it is not surprising to see a dark village. However, in a mud house at the end of the village, there is a high small window. The swaying fire spreads through the window and illuminates the fence of the small courtyard. 2 high wooden poles are the gate. An old woman looks in front of the gate for a long time and finally sees a familiar figure. "Ji, you come back so late today. Did you catch something big?" The old woman sees that the dark-skinned boy is healthy and she is relieved. Seeing that he is carrying a rope, she thinks that he just caught a wild boar or other big prey on the snowmelt day. The old woman looks back. When she sees that it is a person being dragged, she is shocked. She wants to ask carefully but is stopped by the dark-skinned boy. He only says to save people first. The old woman thinks it is not a big deal to block outside the house. The neighbors hear the noise and the watchdogs are biting. She has to support Lin Luoran on one side with the boy and help her into the house. This family is not rich. They also have a mud wall and a thatched roof. In Lin Luoran's eyes, the house of the dark-skinned boy is obviously shorter and the wall is crooked. Is it the mother and the son? The woman is as old as his grandmother. Such a family reminds Lin Luoran of the Lin family before personal ability enhancement. The old woman reminds her of Mrs. Lin. There is a fire bed in the room. The old woman asks the boy to boil a pot of water. She takes off Lin Luoran's wet coat and touches the protean dress she is wearing inside. She says to herself, Fortunately, it is not wet. It is a pity that the good fur coat is ruined. After cleaning Lin Luoran, she puts her on the fire bed and covers her with a quilt. The old woman comes out with the broken rabbit coat. The dark-skinned boy is eating under the stove with the help of the remaining fire in the stove. Because he has not returned home for a long time, the cabbage in the pot has been rotten. The boy doesn't care much and he keeps eating. Aji, where did you save this girl? I see that her clothes are expensive. Will our family get into any trouble? Ji picks a few pieces of fat meat in the cabbage and eats them. The steaming food drives away the chill in the mountain. He puts down the bowl and chopsticks. She was saved by the stream. Mother, I don't care if she's rich or not, I can't just watch her die. What kind of trouble will there be? I think she slipped and fell. Even if she's a noble girl in Feng City, she'll be grateful to us when she wakes up. The old woman sighs again and again. She thinks she is too naive. How can a weak woman go into the mountain alone? She is afraid that her family will get into trouble. Lin Luoran opens her eyes in the room. She clearly hears the conversation between the old woman and the boy. Judging from their conversation and clothes, they are all like the folk customs of ancient Huaxia. However, there is no useful information in their conversation. The Feng City mentioned should be a city close to here. Out of the monster forest, Lin Luoran can finally use her spiritual mind at ease. At this moment, she extends her spiritual mind thoroughly. She finds several villages of the same size within dozens of miles of this small village. They all have one thing in common. They are all on the gentle side of the rolling mountains. The beasts she sees, with her spiritual mind, are all normal. There are no monsters. Naturally, there are no cultivators among the people she sees. Is this side of the mountain just an ordinary ancient world? Lin Luoran is full of doubts and pretends to sleep on the bed. Finally, it is dawn. The old woman comes in with water and she can finally wake up. Chapter 392. Chuyun Village. You can see the early morning clouds in the morning. On the hillside of a mountain on the periphery of the Sunset Mountains, the largest city at the foot of the mountain is Feng City, located in the far west of Penglai. For an illiterate teenager, the farthest place he has been since he was born is the county town at the foot of the mountain. This is all he knows. For Lin Luoran, the most useful information is the name of this country, Penglai. Finally, she is related to Penglai. Of course, she is happy. Facing the honest savior, Lin Luoran only follows the old woman's words and makes up the identity of a noble lady in Feng City. She only says that she will go home and thank them. The old woman looks at her honey-colored skin and is skeptical about her words. Lin Luoran secretly thinks that there may not be a noble lady like her in ancient times. However, she has said it and can't take it back. Lin Luoran can only let nature take its course. She stays in Chuyun village for a few days and gets a lot of information from the young hunter named Aji. She knows that martial arts are advocated in this world. The world is a bit chaotic, but it hasn't affected this small mountain village yet. However, the whole country is not peaceful. Aji has never heard of cultivators. It is said that there are immortals flying around in this land. That is thousands of years ago. For example, Aji's father was drafted into the army a few years ago and has not been heard from for a long time. If the teenager didn't grow up and learn to hunt, his family would be even poorer. It is not easy for an orphan and a widow. Aji can't hunt every day. Even if he does, apart from taking care of the wounded Lin Luoran, most of the game has to be made into cured meat together with the leather goods. When the teenager saves enough, he takes them down the mountain and sells them in the county town. Seeing the mother and son eating coarse grains and vegetables, Lin Luoran feels very uncomfortable drinking pheasant soup in front of the wounded. The wounded can't pretend anymore. Lin Luoran's illness is cured naturally. On the third day, she can get out of bed and walk around. People in the village come to see this rare, noble lady. Lin Luoran bears the onlookers of the village women and takes the opportunity to collect useful information. However, the mountain people are stupid and the village women are even less knowledgeable. They can talk about trivial things like winter melons and eggplants for a long time, but Lin Luoran doesn't know anything she wants to hear. The mountain residence was peaceful, but her mind was not here at the moment. Just as she was thinking about how to leave, an opportunity presented itself. 2 days later, young Aji comes back happily before noon. It turned out that the trap he usually dug had caught a fire fox. Only its hind legs were injured, but it was still alive. The blood of the fire fox was very nutritious, and its fur was also very rare. For the Aji family, selling this fire fox was a huge sum of money. Fire fox is hard to raise, so Aji decides to go to the county the next day. Lin Luoran says goodbye at the right time. The reason is that she is afraid that her family will be worried if she stays here for too long. Lin Luoran feels bad after drinking the pheasant soup made by the old woman for 2 days. Thinking of the gold she got from the dragon palace in the space, she stealthily pinches a few golden beads in the size of peas. She pretends to tell the old woman that the money is hidden in the heel of her shoe to save her life. The old woman refuses. Lin Luoran says softly, "I can't repay you for saving my life. These are just my food expenses for a few days. When I return to Feng City, my family will send me a thank you gift." The old woman is embarrassed. At this time, she really believes that Lin Luoran is a noble girl with excellent upbringing in Feng City. "Sister Lin, let's go down the mountain together tomorrow. I will send you home first so that your family won't worry about you." "You are right." Aji is weaving a bamboo cage and he agrees with Lin Luoran. Although the young man is simple, he is not stupid. He has worked hard to save Lin Luoran. He will not refuse if Lin Luoran is willing to give him a few golden beads. As for the thank you gift, Lin Luoran said, Aji doesn't take it seriously. The next day, the three of them get up early. Aji's mother has already tied all kinds of cured meat with thin ropes and hung them on both sides of the shoulder pole. There are also bundles of leather goods which are no less than 200 kilograms. Thanks to Aji's great strength, he can carry these 200 kilograms of things on the mountain road as if he is flying. Lin Luoran carries the bamboo cage and follows him. She is still wearing the protean dress. After the day of melting snow, the weather is getting hotter and hotter. Summer will come soon. This is also one of the reasons why Aji is eager to carry the cured meat and leather goods down the mountain to sell. She carries a bamboo cage in her hand and there is a little red fox in it. There is no other hair on its body. It should be able to sell for a good price, right? After walking for 2 or 3 hours, they get out of the mountain. It is noon and Lin Luoran finally sees the county Aji mentioned. It is much smaller than she imagined and the wooden houses on the street are not tall. It looks like a town. Aji sells all the cured meat to the restaurant. It is said that this 2-story wooden building is the largest restaurant in the county. More than 100 kilograms of cured meat is sold for less than 2 taels of silver. In Lin Luoran's eyes, the game is only a little more than 2 coins per kilogram of pork. The leather shop only offers 4 taels of silver for the remaining dozens of leather of different sizes. It is slightly more valuable than the cured meat, but it is also ridiculously cheap. Aji is not very satisfied with this price because he later goes to the rice shop to inquire. The price of brown rice has risen to 300 coins per stone and 120 kilograms is 1 stone. After threshing, there can be at most 80 kilograms of brown rice left. Since the price of rice has soared, there is no reason that the price of meat has not risen. Needless to say, Aji, who has not been out of the mountain for a long time, was cheated by the profiteers when he sold cured meat and leather goods. Although 5 or 6 taels of silver can buy a lot of brown rice, the cured meat and leather goods are all accumulated in a long winter. Besides, life is not only about eating. He needs to tear cloth, buy medicine, eat salt. The trivialities of life greatly reduce the purchasing power of 6 taels of silver. Aji still wants to save money to buy a good bow. At this time, he can only pin his hope on the unsold red fox. The boss of the leather shop once wanted to buy this red fox and lowered the price by 2 taels of silver. Aji naturally refuses to sell it and keeps the bamboo cage tightly. After ordering 2 stones of brown rice in the rice shop, Aji waits for someone to buy this red fox on the street. The teenager does not do things well and he forgets to send Lin Luoran home. Lin Luoran follows him silently all the way. In fact, her spiritual mind is scattered around to receive useful news from all directions of the small county. From the words of 2 peddlers in the restaurant, she knows the reason why prices are soaring. 2 months ago, Ing attacked the northern part of Penglai. Penglai, which is in serious civil strife, is in a dilemma of internal and external troubles. The news of the outbreak of the war spreads to this small county in the far west. People are in a panic and it is common for prices to soar. The peddlers talk about the difficulties of the current situation and Lin Luoran's mind has been elsewhere. There are 3 spirit mountains overseas named Penglai, Yingzhou and Fangzhang. She had already heard 2 related names. Only mortals who have gone through many tests can climb the spirit mountains. Lin Luoran thinks of the summary in The Classics of the Monsters of Wood and feels that she is cheated. She is not afraid of tests. She is just worried about what the tests are. Hey, this little fox is so beautiful. Black guy, are you willing to sell it? A beautiful girl in a red dress rides on a horse and looks down. However, her tone is too rude. She calls Aji black guy, which makes Lin Luoran dislike it. Aji is about to answer when the end of the street has been noisy. The girl in the red dress says that it is so troublesome. She flicks a few golden beans into Aji's hand and throws the whip to the bamboo cage. Isn't this a forced purchase? Lin Luoran frowns and gently puts her hand on the bamboo cage containing the red fox. Chapter 393. The girl in the red dress obviously knows some martial arts. Otherwise, the hidden force on the whip won't be so strong. Lin Luoran is very conceited. She sees the little fire fox in the bamboo cage is not eye-catching from a distance, so she condescendingly comes to Aji's stall. Of course, she won't pay attention to irrelevant people. At this moment, Lin Luoran puts a hand on the bamboo cage to stop her from taking the fire fox and leaving. The girl in the red dress finally looks at her. Lin Luoran is more than 1.7 meters tall. She is not short among Asian women, let alone in this ancient place. The girl in the red dress sees at a glance that the girl is wearing a shiny round bead on her wrist. It is very valuable. The style of the white dress she wears is very simple, but the material seems to be a new kind that she has never seen before. Her skin is not fair, so the beauty of her facial features is mostly covered. Her eyes are so bright that they seem to be able to see through people's hearts. The girl in the red dress feels guilty for no reason. You are so strange. I have paid the money, but you still don't let me take the goods. The girl in the red dress is very annoyed that the girl in the red dress bullies her just because her martial arts are better than her. The noise at the end of the street gradually becomes louder. A gray-haired old man runs here with his servants. The girl in the red dress immediately changes her face. Lin Luoran knows that she wants to avoid the people at the end of the street, but it has nothing to do with her. Is this enough to buy the little fire fox? Lin Luoran turns to ask the honest Aji. Aji finally realizes it. He shakes the golden beans in his hand and shakes his head. Other hunters in the village have caught them. A fire fox can be sold for at least 10 taels of silver. The exchange rate of gold and silver is 1 tael of gold for 10 taels of silver. These golden beans are obviously used by the girl in the red dress to reward people. They are less than 1 tael of gold in total. Aji feels that the price is not right, so he disagrees. After getting along with him for a few days, Lin Luoran has a general idea of the boy's character. His EQ is not very high, but his IQ is not low either. He believes that hardships can only be rewarded. Since he said that the fire fox was sold for 10 taels of silver, it must be 10 taels of silver. In fact, he is somewhat simple and honest. The purchasing power of 10 taels of silver has been seriously reduced due to the soaring prices. His fire fox should also be sold at a higher price. Lin Luoran raises her eyebrows. Did you hear that? The girl in the red dress is furious. She thinks they are blackmailing her, so she whips Lin Luoran hard. She didn't want to lower herself to the same level as this domineering girl, but as her cultivation increased, it was rare to see someone so arrogant in front of her. Cultivators are also human beings. Lin Luoran is a little angry. Instead of dodging, she grabs the whip. She exerted a bit of strength, and the girl in the red dress cried out in alarm and fell from the back of the horse. Lin Luoran just wants to teach her a little lesson. The old man at the end of the street sees it and thinks that Lin is going to punish the girl in the red dress. He shouts, "My family's young miss is still young and insensible. If she has offended you, I hope that you will forgive me. This old man thanks you for your magnanimity." He was drenched in sweat before he managed to squeeze into the crowd of onlookers. Lin Luoran snorts and loosens her grip. The girl in the red dress falls to the ground. The old man and a large group of people who came after him clustered around her. They did not even ride their horses, and left the street without looking back. "Hey, your golden bean." The golden bean in Aji's hand seems to become hot. He grabs a servant and stuffs it into his hand. When this group of people leaves, the onlookers start to talk about it. The girl in the red dress just now is surnamed Mu. Her family owns a caravan. They travel between Penglai and Ing all year round. They are very rich. It is said that black-faced Aji and Lin Luoran offended the Mu family and they are doomed to suffer. After gossiping, the onlookers suddenly disperse. It seems that they are afraid that the Mu family will also make trouble for them. Lin Luoran is not very comfortable to hear this. She can leave easily, but she has offended a rich businessman. It is really a big deal for Aji's family. Aji seems to be really stupid. He doesn't realize that he has offended a rich family at all. He is just worried that no one will buy the fire fox after this. Lin Luoran thinks for a while and asks him to wait in the noodle shop nearby. She is going to see if she can contact her family. Aji nods. This is originally a subordinate county of Feng City. If Lin Luoran's family has some power in Feng City, they may open a shop in the county. Lin Luoran says goodbye to Aji. She obviously needs some money in the secular world at this moment. It is too eye-catching to use the gold from the Dragon Palace in the space. Ordinary people use copper coins and even silver is rare. What can she exchange for money? If she uses gold to exchange, it will not appreciate at all. The gold from the Dragon Palace is of excellent quality. It is purer than the 1,000 feet gold in the future. If she uses it to exchange for silver at this time, she will only lose money. This is not Lin Luoran's usual frugal style. After absorbing Reiki, there is a lot of jade left in the space. Lin Luoran thinks for a while and chooses a piece of jade with good quality. She cuts it into water droplets with wacken and melts some gold to make a set of gold and jade hairpins. This is a set of jade hairpins with 12 flowers. The patterns of plum blossom petals can be seen in the fine lines. The peony petals are pulled extremely thin, which is a national beauty. Before Lin Luoran reaches the silver shop, she has finished making this set of hairpins. A good horse needs a good saddle. Lin Luoran turns over an iron nanma box made on the mountain and puts the set of flower hairpins in it. This way, it looks more high-end. Seeing all kinds of flower hairpins, she feels a little emotional. Baojia likes jewelry design very much. She used to sigh that the ancient techniques were lost. Many modern techniques are not as good as those of the ancient times. She can't make the design she wants. If Baojia is awake at this time, she can make jewelry with the techniques of cultivators. She will not sigh that her skills are not good, right? Lin Luoran stops thinking and goes to the silver shop with this set of flower hairpins. She has a good temperament. She doesn't look down on her. She invites the old shopkeeper and estimates the price to be 1,200 taels. It is easy to sell the hairpins. Lin Luoran exchanges the large amount of money for flying tickets similar to silver notes. The remaining 200 taels are exchanged for silver ingots. She is in a good mood. She gives them to the silver shop together with the iron nanmu box and leaves. Young workers are all looking at the jewelry in the box. In a small county, 200 taels of silver is a big deal, let alone 1,200 taels of silver. Shopkeeper, 1,200 taels of silver. Can anyone buy it? The old shopkeeper touches his goatee. You know nothing. Go, go, go. Watch the shop. How can it not be sold? The old rich Mu family's caravan returns. The young lady is about the same age. This set of hairpins may not be found in the whole county. Isn't it good to send it to them? Even if the Mu family doesn't want it, some rich ladies will buy it in the city. All businessmen were cunning. The old shopkeeper could already see the money he would earn twice as much as before rolling towards him. Lin Luoran takes out the silver from the bank. She is thinking about how to persuade Aji to accept it. Suddenly, she hears two teenagers talking in the bank that a big school in Feng City is recruiting disciples. They have no money to send gifts, otherwise, they would like to have a try. Penglai advocates martial arts. People who learn martial arts have a very high status. Lin Luoran accidentally hears that Aji seems to be very eager. She thinks about it and still deposits the silver in the bank. She asks the bank for a hollow copper lock and stuffs the flying tickets in it. The poor study and the rich learn martial arts. It costs a lot of money to be successful in learning martial arts. Just like spirit herbs and spirit stones are indispensable for cultivators. 1,000 taels of silver can only lead Aji on his journey. It is fate that they meet by chance. Lin Luoran doesn't mind helping Aji as long as it is within her ability. Not long after she leaves, a shopkeeper sees that she is alone and he is a stranger. He comes forward to talk to her. Lin Luoran thinks of Aji's unsold fire fox and she has an idea. After offending the Mu family, it is not easy for him to sell the fox in the county. Lin Luoran tells the shopkeeper a few words. After they leave, she goes to find Aji. This simple and honest young man is really sitting at the noodle stall waiting for her. He is probably embarrassed to sit there for free, so he orders a bowl of plain noodles and is eating it slowly. The name, plain noodles, sounds nice, but it is actually a beautification of the name by the ancients. In fact, it is boiled noodles without any seasonings with a few chopped green onions, which means spring snow. Of course, plain noodles are the cheapest, only 3 coins for one bowl. Aji is very thrifty. Aji, Sister Lin will treat you to braised meat noodles. Boss, cut a plate of good braised meat and make 2 new bowls of noodles. Aji smiles and slurps up the noodles in the bowl. He puts down the bowl and asks, Sister Lin, have you found the news of your family? Lin Luoran nods, otherwise, how can I afford to treat you to noodles? Don't worry, there is enough braised meat. Aji is relieved and smiles. He doesn't know whether it is because of the money or because Lin Luoran has finally found her family. He picks up a lot of braised meat for Lin Luoran and pours the rest into a big bowl. Lin Luoran is about to talk to him about the recruitment of disciples of a big school in Feng City. The shopkeeper is dressed like a small businessman and he takes a fancy to Aji's little fire fox at first sight. The price is 11 taels and Aji is very happy to sell the fire fox to him. Including the money from selling cured meat and leather goods, he has more than a dozen taels. It is the first time for the young man to see so much cash in the same day and he is very happy. All good things must come to an end. Lin Luoran still needs to find Penglai. Before she can say goodbye, Aji suddenly says considerately that it is getting late and he has to send Lin Luoran back to her family first. Where can she find her family? If she had known that he is such a sincere person, she would have asked the shopkeeper to pretend to be her family. Aren't you going to buy a bow? I am not in a hurry. I will accompany you to buy a bow first. People are coming and going on the street. It is better to talk in a quiet place. Lin Luoran pays for the noodles and is about to take Aji to the weapon shop. A group of people is coming from the street. Lin Luoran smiles gently when she sees the white-haired old man is among them. The Mu family is a little slow and she has to wait here for a long time. If she doesn't solve the problem, she will hurt Aji's family by fighting for the fire fox. Miss, I am the shopkeeper of the Mu family. Miss Mu offended me just now. Please don't blame her. My master is busy, so he asked me to send you a gift. Please accept it. Lin Luoran glances at the small wooden box held by the shopkeeper and finds that it is full of small silver ingots. Chapter 394. Of course, the Mu family is not stupid. After being slapped on the left cheek, they still offer the right cheek to Lin Luoran with enthusiasm. After a short conversation, they explain their purpose. First, the steward of the Mu family asks Lin Luoran if she is free recently. He wants to hire her as the captain of the guards to escort the caravan to Ing. It turns out that they mistake Lin Luoran as a female warrior. People here are open-minded. There is no bad habit of binding women's feet, and there is no restriction that women can't show up in front of people other than their relatives. Therefore, the young lady of the Mu family can ride a horse in the market. In conclusion, the status of women in Penglai is not too low. Some women even travel north and south to do business. Lin Luoran's skin color is like that of a vagrant in the wind and rain. Combined with her skills, it is not surprising that people mistake her as a female warrior. This continent is not recorded in the ancient book of monsters of wood. Lin Luoran doesn't know what to do next at this time. She wants to refuse to be the captain of the guards. However, when she thinks that in such an era where information is blocked, these caravans are the most well-informed people, she starts to think. She has to look at this continent carefully to find clues. Lin Luoran makes a decision and says that she needs to think about it. She sends the Mu family away and deals with Aji's affairs first. She doesn't take the small box held by the steward of the Mu family. She asks all the way to the best inn in the county. Coincidentally, it is the property of the Mu family. Lin Luoran doesn't care about it. She gets a good room and tells Aji about it. In front of the Mu family, she can't say that she is a noble lady of Feng City. That will block her way out. However, she has to explain it to Aji. As you can see, I am not a noble lady of Feng City. I was injured on the mountain because I was chased by my enemies. I was afraid that I would scare you, so I lied. Aji, will you blame me? Aji is obviously a little restrained in this good room. He doesn't know where to put his hands and feet. He thinks for a while and his eyes are still clear. Sister, is your surname really Lin? Lin Luoran nods. Aji seems to be relieved. He is probably afraid that Lin Luoran even lied to him about her name. Seeing that he doesn't care about it, Lin Luoran tells him the news she heard in the bank. Aji is overjoyed. He is obviously eager to have a try when he hears that a big school in Feng City will accept apprentices. However, when he thinks of his family situation, he flinches. How can mother live alone at home? I'll continue to hunt. I still have to buy a good bow later. Lin Luoran gives him the copper lock and encourages him. Aji, life is only a few decades. If you don't seize the opportunity to do what you want to do, you will regret it when you are old. Hidden in the copper lock was a flying ticket worth 1,000 taels. It could be cashed in at the county's money house at any time. Consider it a thank you gift for saving me. Now, I'm giving it to you. The choice is also in your hands. You can take the flying ticket and go back to the mountain to be a small landlord. You can marry a beautiful wife. 1,000 taels of silver is not a lot, but it's enough for you to live to an old age in this chaotic world. You can also choose to take the flying ticket and buy some gifts. You can go to Feng City to learn martial arts and build a career. Aji's hand, which is about to reach back, shrinks. 1,000 taels, he has never dreamed of so much money. Sister Lin, I can't take it. The teenager stutters a little. Lin Luoran smiles and puts it in his hand, take it. For a mountain village, 1,000 taels of silver is a lot. For me, my life is more valuable than this. You just saw it. The Mu family asked me to escort a caravan to Ing. This trip alone will cost me hundreds of taels of silver. I thought it was too little, so I haven't agreed yet. Lin Luoran's words are half true and half false. Aji is obviously stunned. In the era of cold weapons, people who know martial arts are very popular. Aji knows that warriors are very rich, but he can't even think about giving away 1,000 taels of silver casually like this before. Lin Luoran sees that he is dreaming and she quickly pours a bucket of cold water on him. People who know martial arts are all aggressive. It's a chaotic world. You may be prosperous in front of others, but you may be overthrown in the blink of an eye. You have to think about it carefully. Aji is out of his wits. He only says that he wants to go home first. It may take him some time to digest Lin Luoran's words. He doesn't take the copper lock. After knowing that Lin Luoran should still be in the inn tomorrow, Aji takes his things and leaves. Lin Luoran doesn't know which one Aji will choose, but she is still very happy to provide people with the opportunity to choose their dreams. In a good mood, she asks the inn waiter to carry a large wooden bucket into her room. She takes a hot bath and cleans up before entering the space. Fire Phoenix quite agrees with her idea of escorting a caravan to Ing. It only says that if there is no way forward, they should go around. Maybe there is a chance to survive. Lin Luoran thinks this sentence is the most philosophical thing Fire Phoenix has ever said. Wood Wolf laughs so hard. After a hot bath, she feels very comfortable. If it weren't for the obsession of climbing Mount Penglai in her heart, her life at this time would be very similar to her life as an ordinary person in the Naku grassland. Her Wakan is restless. Is this the result of living in the monster forest for a year? The violent breath mixed in her heart may take a period of time to dissolve to get rid of the hostility caused by killing. It's funny. She can purify the resentful spirits, but she can't purify her own murderous intention. You have done a good deal. Others are not satisfied. The resentful spirits purified by your power of faith in the sea of sin will also believe in you after reincarnation. This kind of bond goes deep into the soul. They will all be your devout believers in the future. Lin Luoran glares at Fire Phoenix. Why does it have to make it so clear? Although there is a scheme in it, she also wants to do a good deed, okay? Lin Luoran takes out the blue jade given by the mermaid and plays with it carefully. The development of things is unpredictable. She doesn't expect that she will pass through the mountains in such a strange way and come to this side of the monster forest. She doesn't use this blue jade and she can't figure out its use. Wood Wolf carefully identifies it for a while. It seems that it has seen relevant records somewhere. However, it is too long ago and the monster's brain is not a computer that never deletes files. It can't remember it at this time. Lin Luoran tastes the newly brewed mango wine last time. The wine has a very thick mango flavor. It tastes good. She makes some ice cubes and adds it. It is more like a cocktail. Unfortunately, there is no goblet in the space. The yellow land is full of species in the monster forest, such as rubber trees, iron phoebe, and agarwood. They are all planted next to the soul wood. They are all extremely difficult to grow into timber. Lin Luoran doesn't worry that they will grow very big in a short time. She takes a can of tea and leaves the space. Then she hears a knock on the door. People of the Mu family come again. This time, it is not the steward but the second master of the Mu family who can manage things. He also comes with Miss Mu, a girl in a red dress. visiting the thatched cottage 3 times. Lin Luoran secretly feels funny. She just pulled the girl in the red dress off the horse. How can the Mu family know that she is a master? Is it possible that the girl in the red dress is a powerful person herself, so they can make an analogy? The visitor is a guest. Since Lin Luoran plans to find clues with the caravan, it is common sense to be polite. It is her fault to kick the guest out. It is inconvenient to be a guest here. If you don't mind, please have some tea. Lin Luoran makes a gesture to invite him to have tea. Miss Mu pouts and looks at the cold teacup. She can't say anything to apologize. The steward of the Mu family is good-tempered. He is in his 30s. Miss Mu calls him uncle and he introduces himself as Mu Qingshan. Mu Qingshan smiles like the legendary smiling tiger. No matter if Lin Luoran's attitude is cold or hot, he can always answer her. You don't hit a smiling person. His character is really suitable for businessmen. Seeing that Lin Luoran invites him to have tea, he doesn't hesitate. He picks up the teacup and asks, "Miss, the water in this pot has long been cold." Qingshan can ask the waiter to bring up another pot of boiling water, okay? Lin Luoran doesn't know that her temperament has changed a lot after fighting with monsters. After building a house in the forest for half a year, she finally calms down a little. However, in the eyes of these ordinary people, she doesn't feel anything unusual at the first sight. However, the more they look at her, the more she looks like a pool of deep spring. It is cold and deep and can't be seen through. Lin Luoran doesn't know this. She is determined to let the Mu family hire her. She has to be polite and show her skills at the same time. Therefore, she stretches out a finger on the cooling kettle and presses the mouth of the kettle. The cold water in the kettle is boiling again at a speed visible to the naked eye. Miss Mu's eyes almost pop out. She finally understands how merciful Lin Luoran is to her on the street. Even the knowledgeable Mu Qingshan's pupils shrink. When martial arts reach a certain level, it will produce internal force from external martial arts. There is no mental cultivation method of internal force on the mainland. To produce internal force, one must first train the skin and then the bones. Then the sea of Reiki will naturally circulate in the body. Lin Luoran looks so young. How can she have internal force? While he was surprised, he was also greatly disappointed. She has such personal ability at such a young age. She must be a disciple of a famous school. Maybe she doesn't like the Mu caravan. Mu Qingshan has a lot of thoughts in his mind. He is still smiling, but he doesn't even taste the tea in the cup. However, Miss Mu smells the unusual aroma of the tea. She suppresses her dislike of the cups in the inn and takes 2 sips. She is conquered by the bitterness mixed with sweetness. It is a kind of tea she has never drunk. What is the origin of this woman? Both Miss Mu and her 4th uncle Mu Qingshan have confirmed Lin Luoran's extraordinariness to some extent. Mu Qingshan makes a decision in a short while and says goodbye. Lin Luoran doesn't expect that her skill will scare away the Mu family. She doesn't know whether to laugh or to cry. At night, she is so angry that she simply seals her spiritual mind and stays in the inn to concentrate on self-cultivation. The next day is foggy. When Lin Luoran goes out, she finds a man standing at the door. The thick fog in the morning has not dissipated. The middle-aged man's black cloth shoes are wet. She doesn't know how long he has been standing in front of the inn. Chapter 395. One of them sincerely invites Lin Luoran and also acts as if he has made 3 visits to the thatched cottage. The other one looks arrogant on the surface, but in fact, he has already planned to go to Ing with the caravan. After pretending to be courteous, they soon agree. When Aji comes, Mu Qinghua has just left. It is funny that Lin Luoran refuses the silver before. This time, Mu Qinghua sends her the gift in person. It is the set of flower hairpins she sold to the silver shop earlier. After so many things, this thing is given to Lin Luoran as an expensive gift. Lin Luoran feels funny and asks Mu Qinghua how much this set of jewelry costs. The boss of the Mu caravan says it is not expensive with a complacent look. He says it is a coincidence that the Mu family bought a pearl in a small county with only 5,000 taels of silver. Lin Luoran's eyes twitch when she hears this. All businessmen are cunning. The seemingly honest old shopkeeper is really a big profiteer. He takes 1,200 taels of silver and makes 3,800 taels of silver in less than a day. Mu Qinghua certainly won't cheat her on the price. She doesn't know what goods the Mu family is going to transport to Ying this time, and they ask her to escort them again and again. Of course, there is no reason to mess up such a small thing. When Aji comes, the breakfast on Lin Luoran's table has not been taken away yet. It will take 4 hours to go from the mountain to the county empty-handed. The teenager's eyes are bloodshot. Has he stayed up all night? There are steamed buns here. Just eat some. Lin Luoran only touches the things on the table a little. It is a pity to waste them, so she asks Aji to eat. In fact, cultivators in the period of bearing essence don't need to eat secular food. They can live only by nourishing their cells with reiki in their body. Otherwise, why do people often say that immortals eat wind and drink dew? Lin Luoran always has the habit of eating on time. It is not only because she advances too fast to adapt to the living habits of cultivators, but also because she carries a small space with her which can't control her foodie heart. Subconsciously, she doesn't want to forget her duty as a human and wants to cultivate the Tao of the secular world. Aji eats up the porridge and steamed buns. He touches his mouth. Sister Lin, I've decided to go to Feng City. Lin Luoran is not surprised by this result. She knows the teenager's choice since he can't sleep at night. To her surprise, Aji refuses her support. Coarse rice was only 300 copper coins per stone, and meat was 10 copper coins per caddy. 1,000 taels of silver was enough for the villagers in the small mountain village to live comfortably for the rest of their lives. Refusing such a sum of money was like a white-collar worker with a monthly income of several thousand rejecting a huge sum of money that fell from the sky without needing to be repaid. From now on, Lin Luoran starts to look at the swarthy boy in a different light. The Mu caravan is about to set off. Aji also buys rice for his family and sends it back. The money from selling cured meat, leather goods, and little firefox is enough for his mother to live for a long time. Lin Luoran invites him to go to Feng City together. The caravan will pass by this big city anyway. Aji readily agrees. Lin Luoran asks him to go shopping. After all, he is only a teenager and he rarely goes out of the mountain for a few times a year. In fact, he is curious about many shops in the county. After he left, the observant donor came to find him. The man is holding the fire fox in the bamboo cage. He hears that the master of the Mu family comes to hire Lin Luoran in person, so he is not afraid that Lin Luoran has no money to pay. Lin Luoran bought the little fox with her own money. What should she do with it now? Lin Luoran doesn't expect Aji to come so early. There is no time difference. She can't deal with the fire fox. Thinking that the boy is about to come back, Lin Luoran casts a mini world to cover herself. She runs back and forth in less than 10 minutes. She simply releases the little fire fox. In the afternoon, someone from the Mu family comes to invite her. Lin Luoran feels strange. Why do they choose this time to set off? The time is not right. Does it mean that they will have to rest in the wilderness? She takes Aji to the Mu family. The old house of the Mu family in the county is very big. The caravan has been lined up on the street. There are dozens of big cars. It seems that the Mu caravan is really big. When Mu Qinghua hired her, he said that she was going to transport food. The current situation is turbulent and it is normal for people to rob food on the road. Therefore, he hired a master to be the captain of the guard team. Peng Lai and Ying are at war. Of course, selling food can make huge profits. But it is not necessary to escort it from all over the country, right? Lin Luoran scans with her spiritual mind. She finds that there is something special about rice and wheat in these grain carriers. She suddenly realizes it. How can selling food be more profitable than transporting weapons? Looking at the dozens of swords and crossbows hidden in the grain carriers, Lin Luoran sighs that the Mu family is so bold that they even want to make money from war. She just doesn't know which country Mu Qinghua and the smiling Mu Qingshan are going to sell weapons to. If she were an ordinary warrior, she would definitely retreat at this moment. However, Lin Luoran doesn't care. On the one hand, she is a cultivator. In this world that advocates martial arts, she is much more superior than them. On the other hand, she is neither from Penglai nor Ying. She has no sense of national honor. Sorry for troubling you along the way, Miss Lin. Mu Qinghua bows and shakes off. More than 100 guards are also well equipped. The Mu family must have invested a lot this time. Lin Luoran nods and puts down the curtain. Cultivators don't make promises casually. Although she follows the caravan to inquire about the news, it is just a piece of cake for Lin Luoran to escort the caravan. She can also cultivate in her spare time. Lin Luoran gives up riding a horse and chooses to take a car. The curtain is put down, which also blocks many people's inquiring eyes. As a woman, she is treated politely by the head of the family. Many people want to know Lin Luoran's strength. Several troublemakers in the guards are eager to have a try. The lady of the Mu family, Mu Feiqiang, also wants to follow the caravan to the north. Lin Luoran is not interested in exploring whether the Mu family is going to pack up their family and run away. If she has time, she might as well chat with Aji. At dusk, the big rooster is killed as a sacrifice to various immortals. The caravan finally sets off. It is the first time for Aji to take a carriage. The teenager feels a little awkward. Lin Luoran asks him carefully. He thinks the carriage is bumpy and it is better to walk. Lin Luoran laughs at his words. She also misses the cars in her hometown. Compared with this kind of carriage without shock absorbers, the progress of technology on the Earth is really beneficial to the public. It is bumpy all the way. They arrive at the outskirts of Feng City when it is dark. There is no way to enter the city at this time. Lin Luoran guesses that the Mu family probably doesn't want to enter the city to rest. How can the inn in the city be more convenient than the inn in the wilderness? After setting up camp, they make a fire to cook. Lin Luoran looks very difficult to get along with. Mu Qingshan even asks someone to cook for her. Aji feels sorry for taking the Mu family's carriage for free. He offers to help. Lin Luoran simply asks him if he knows how to make a fire to cook. Hunters who often make a living in the wild certainly know how to make a fire. Poor people don't care about taste when cooking. Lin Luoran uses the small stove dug by Aji to cook. She pretends to go to the cart with ingredients and chooses 2 radishes and a piece of beef. She quietly replaces them with radishes and monster meat piled up like a mountain in space. She makes a pot of radish beef with only a little seasoning. Soon, the whole camp is filled with a strange meat fragrance. Aji swallows his saliva. The bonfire reflects the teenager's dark face. His eyes are frighteningly bright. Is he hungry? Lin Luoran gives him a big bowl of rice and a lot of beef. She tells him to eat quickly. The teenager gobbles up the food, which makes Lin Luoran laugh. Many years later, when Aji becomes a famous warrior and is able to enjoy the food that only the privileged class in this world can enjoy, he especially misses the radish beef he ate on the outskirts of Feng City. At that time, he already knew that Sister Lin, he met when he was young, was an extraordinary person. However, as time flies, Aji has never seen the tall female warrior with a mysterious background in his memory in his lifetime. She leaves a glimpse of brilliance in the lives of a group of people and leaves an indelible mark on them. Of course, at this time, Aji is still an uneasy teenager who doesn't know whether the big school in Feng City will accept him. Lin Luoran washes her hands and makes soup. Many people in the Mu caravan can't help but peek at her. Can a disciple of a famous school also do this? Warriors have a high status and Lin Luoran looks scary. Her behavior actually startles people in the Mu caravan. When the aroma of the radish stewed beef spread, the coachmen and guards who were eating from the big pot all swallowed their saliva. They were extremely jealous of the naive-looking young man who was sitting beside the female martial artist and eating to his heart's content. Why? Mu Feiqiang slams down the curtain and loses her temper at the cook. Why can't she buy the fox she likes? Why does she have to apologize to that woman? Why can't her father please that woman with the hairpin she likes? The dignified lady of the Mu family eats less than an inexplicable woman. She just knows how to heat tea in the air. What's the big deal? Mu Feiqiang is so angry that she loses her temper in the carriage. The arrogant lady of the Mu family certainly won't admit it. Even her appearance advantage, which she was proud of at the beginning, becomes shameful and angry when she finds that although Lin Luoran's skin color is not good, the more she looks at her, the more attractive she is. Along the way, her uncle has looked at Lin's carriage many times. She is just a little taller. Uncle, you are such a big lecher. You look like a lecher who has never seen a woman. Mu Qingshan, who is eating in the big pot with the guards, sneezes. He is somewhat inexplicable. The weather is a little cold. Tonight, the bonfire must be brighter to prevent people in the caravan from catching a cold. Mu Qingshan's imagination runs wild. He can't help but look not far away. Lin Luoran is as tall as Jade. She has finished her meal and gets on the carriage indifferently. The swarthy teenager is extinguishing the fire. Chapter 396. She has had a crush on Brother Mu for more than 10 years. Therefore, Lin Luoran's brain is extremely slow. She never thinks deeply about other people's inquiring eyes. Therefore, the female warrior in everyone's eyes is as cold as a piece of cold jade. Although she is amorous, her eyes are more unintentionally fierce. The fierce cold jade can also soften. However, because the boy named Aji is too stubborn, he doesn't want her support. It always reminds her of Huang Weijian, who is already half a member of the Lin family. Sometimes this stubbornness makes people helpless, but you have to admit that people with some persistence, stubborn and stupid, are cute and admirable. The school that accepts disciples in Feng City is called Five Tigers School. Most of the masters in the school serve the military of Penglai. In the border cities, it is already a great school. On the day of accepting disciples, the school is crowded with people. Lin Luoran even sees a country boy carrying a crowing rooster. It is common knowledge that apprentices need to be apprenticed. Aji is too stubborn and as simple as unpolished jade. Lin Luoran can't persuade him, so she quietly finds a person in charge of the Five Tigers School this time. After paying him 1,000 taels of flying ticket, this person finally looks at Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran doesn't have any external kung fu, so her gestures are full of hostility. The Mu family can only see that she has a good temperament, but the person in charge of the Five Tigers School can see that it is hostility after being stained with blood. His attitude becomes respectful. The Five Tigers School is famous in the bitter and cold land of the far west. The person in charge knows that there is always someone better than him. With the flying ticket and deterrence, the man surnamed Lu promises that he will take good care of Aji. Lin Luoran doesn't say anything. She looks back at the crowd. The boy is desperately squeezing in. She flicks a strand of wakan into the boy's eyebrows. Learning martial arts focuses on muscles and bones. The wakan of a bearing essence cultivator is enough for Aji to enjoy. See you again if fate allows it. Lin Luoran smiles. In fact, she knows very well that they probably won't see each other again. This is a place completely different from the current environment of the earth. The mountains are green, the rivers are green, and there is no Sudan red, gutter oil, and poisonous milk powder. However, she is still willing to stay in the real world where Reiki is scarce. In Rong City in the center of Chuan province of Huaxia, her relatives, friends, and disciples are waiting for her. Lin Luoran thinks that this must be the bond of family. After leaving Feng City, the caravan's speed had increased significantly. They were either resting in the countryside or camping in the wilderness. If it weren't for the official road, Lin Luoran guesses that Mu Qingshan and others would never go to the city to take risks. The Mu family is an old caravan, and they do a good job. Although it is a chaotic world, no one really checks their caravan. Mu Qingshan is actually just guilty. It makes no difference whether she sleeps in the wilderness or in a clean hostel with hot water. Anyway, she practices by herself every day. She eats dishes in the space that are cooked separately and she never lacks hot water. She doesn't mind where to rest. She only cares about one thing. Every time she goes to a new place, she will completely release her spiritual mind. Like a sophisticated scanner, she searches for news about Mount Penglai in the tea houses in the market or the gossip of rural women. What makes Mu Feiqiang unhappy is that as the caravan speeds up, the whole team looks travel-worn. No matter how much she applies on weekdays, her little face still turns sallow in such an uncomfortable environment. However, Lin Luoran is always refreshing, casual, and absolutely clean. Even her honey-colored skin becomes whiter and whiter on the way north. It is like a piece of polished and exquisite jade. The calmer Lin Luoran is, the more obsessed Mu Qingshan is. One day, the caravan misses the time to enter the city again. Mu Qingshan wants to camp on the spot. However, Mu Feiqiang points to the faint light not far away and suggests, "Uncle, there is a small village in front of us. Isn't it perfect for us to stay in the village? We can also replenish our rice in the village." They have been traveling for more than a month and everything is calm. Several small thieves have been killed by the Mu family's guards. It seems that the war on the front line has not been lost and the situation is still under control. Mu Qingshan is also a little tempted. Replenishing rice is not the most important thing. Like his niece, Mu Qingshan also wants to boil a large pot of hot water and take a good bath. Lin Luoran sees that the uncle and niece are in high spirits, but she can't help but pour cold water on them. "If I were you, I would choose a place farther away from here to camp instead of entering the village." Mu Qingshan is stunned. He doesn't expect that warrior Lin, who has never made a suggestion, will object. He just suffers from the common problem of caring more about his appearance and worrying about gains and losses, but his brain is still clear. Hearing Lin Luoran's words for the first time, he knows that this village may not be as simple as it looks. However, Mu Feiqiang is furious. She thinks that Lin Luoran is deliberately against her and humiliating her. Seeing the angry face of the little girl, Lin Luoran is a little confused. She doesn't know what she did to annoy her. After all, Lin Luoran is too lazy to argue with a teenage girl. She simply goes back to the car and closes her eyes to rest. Mu Feiqiang sees that Mu Qingshan is in a daze again. She is so angry that she stamps her feet. "Uncle, can you have your own opinion? You are the manager of the caravan. Look at you. You look down on all women." Warrior Lin seems to be angry, and so is his niece. Mu Qingshan has a headache. However, he is stimulated by Mu Feiqiang's words, "Look down on all women." Therefore, he decides to follow his heart for once and enter the village. From the guards to the coachman, they all support Master Mu's decision. They eat jerky and porridge all day long. Smelling the fragrance from Lin Luoran's small kitchen, they are almost hypnotized. Farmers are good. Farmers can cook. Therefore, a group of people walks towards the faint light. The grain carriage, loaded with several weapons, leaves heavy ruts on the ground. In the carriage, Lin Luoran is eating a bunch of grapes happily. She doesn't look angry at all. Mu Qingshan just misunderstands her. All the villagers in the village have rested. They are awakened by the arrival of the caravan. Mu Qingshan asks people to give them enough accommodation fees. The wife of the village head organizes many women to get up to kill chickens and wash rice. They also go to the fields to chop cabbages and wash carrots. This is food for more than 100 people. Of course, they will get some tips. Mu Feiqiang's maidservant hands the village head's wife a golden bean. The woman stops a vegetable washer and asks her to boil a pot of bath water for Miss Mu first. Then she gives her a golden bean. Fourth Master Mu's bath water is also available. When Mu Feiqiang is soaking in the hot water, the open space in the village is full of laughter. That was because the guards had obtained permission to have a drink tonight. Since the caravan set out, they haven't had a drink for more than a month. Stewed chicken with bamboo shoots, meat dipped in water sauce, smooth steamed eggs. The tiredness of the journey is gone. Mu Qingshan comes out refreshed and asks them to eat first. He looks at the carriage where Lin Luoran is. There is still no movement after they arrive at the village. Is she still angry? Mu Qingshan plucks up his courage and walks over there. The shadow of the carriage suddenly turns into two. His feet are light and his head is heavy. He faints at once. Master Mu, the guards are all shocked. They draw out the knives in their hands. However, when they protect Mu Qingshan, they find that their hands and feet are sore. They can't hold the weapons in their hands steadily and they fall to the ground. At this point, everyone knows that they are in a den of thieves. Mu Qingshan raises his head reluctantly. He looks at the village head who seems to be a different person. Soften tendons. How generous, the village head laughs. Master Mu, do you like the hot water? Mu Qingshan's face is even more gloomy when his ranking is revealed. This is not a robbery. They are obviously prepared. The news that the Mu family transported heavy crossbows has been leaked. He doesn't know if his brother is safe. Mu Qingshan is regretting and suffering. Suddenly, there is a scream in the room where his niece is bathing. Feiqiang is still inside. Mu Qingshan remembers what his brother entrusted to him. His face turns pale. You can rob things, but do you want to rape me? Chapter 397. The torches are bright, and Mu Qingshan's ranking is exposed. This village is obviously disguised by thieves. The Mu caravan really falls into a den of bandits this time. Lin Luoran has been in the carriage without showing up. The thieves led by the fake village head don't expect that there is backup in the carriage. As Mu Qingshan said, the level of medicine in Penglai is low. Things like softening powder are really rare, especially colorless and tasteless. The powder is sprinkled on the ground. The Mu caravan inhales a lot of it as soon as they step into the village. Some of it is even in the food and drinks, and even in the hot water of Mu Qingshan's bath. It doesn't make sense that the people hiding in the carriage will be fine. Thinking of this, the fake village head is relieved. He laughs and says, "Little girl, you don't have to bluff like this. Are you weak now? Don't be afraid. Let your elder brother take care of you." The villagers burst into laughter. The fake village chief no longer looks old. Under the wig, he is a strong middle-aged man. He laughs so hard that he falls back and forth. Over in the house, there is a low sobbing sound of Miss Mu. Those women who were smiling and cooking with dexterous hands suddenly turn into strong bandits. They wash rice and cook quickly. They are also not soft when tying people up. Villains inevitably become arrogant. When the fake village head's face is filled with clear applause, most of the thieves are checking the heavy crossbows escorted by the Mu caravan. Only the curtain of the carriage fluttered. Did that woman make a move? Suddenly, the fake village head's face is swollen like a steamed bun. It is red and swollen. The blood he spits out contains 2 big teeth. Damn it, don't be so shameless. Go. He covers his face and says vaguely, motioning his men to surround the carriage. The heavy crossbows found in the Mu caravan come in handy. More than a dozen people surround the carriage. With an order, the carriage, which may be carrying a master of martial arts, suddenly becomes a hedgehog. A woman boldly opens the curtain. The crossbows have pierced through the wooden board of the carriage. Where is the person? Shoot that house. The fake village head points to the house where Mu Feiqiang is. Mu Qingshan, who has just been hopeful, immediately feels nervous. Since he is responsible for transporting this batch of heavy crossbows, he certainly knows its power. In such a short distance, heavy crossbows can completely penetrate these mud walls. Mu Feiqiang was in danger. Even warrior Lin might not be able to escape. Tuck, 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 the continuous arrows pierced through the air. The fake village chief's swollen face had a smile, which made his swollen face look extremely ferocious. I say, the water is already cold. How long are you going to stay in the bucket? Under the flickering oil lamp, Mu Feiqiang's little maidservant has been knocked out. Two wretched men are lying beside the little girl. Lin Luoran just kicked them out. There are still tears on Mu Feiqiang's face. Her frightened and flustered look dilutes her usual arrogance. Of course, Lin Luoran can't understand Miss Mu's complicated feelings. When you are desperate and embarrassed, the one who saves you is the one you usually curse in your heart. Miss Mu is just a little arrogant because she is spoiled by her family. She is not a bad person, so she is in a dilemma now. Lin Luoran asks again. She almost buries her face in the bucket. I don't have any strength, I can't put on clothes. What a troublesome little girl. The air is filled with a kind of powder that ordinary people can't smell. Even if Lin Luoran saves her, she will be poisoned immediately. Lin Luoran sighs and accepts her fate. She picks a leaf of some spirit herb from the space and asks Mu Feiqiang to put it under her tongue. The cool and stimulating taste instantly makes Mu Feiqiang cry. Miss Mu is embarrassed. She thinks that Lin Luoran is deliberately teasing her. She holds the edge of the bucket and has the strength to stand up. She forgets to trouble Lin Luoran for a moment and asks curiously, what leaf is this? Mint leaf. Lin Luoran is annoyed. Outside, arrows have been shot from the low roof. Lin Luoran flicks her fingers in the air. The arrows made of stainless steel are broken in the middle and fall on the ground. Mu Feiqiang, who has been taught by a warrior since she was a child, is horrified. Is this the legendary release of internal force? Lin Luoran is very depressed. It is too eye-catching to use spells or flying swords. She can only pretend to be a six-pulse magic sword. However, it is too troublesome to shoot down arrows one by one. Mu Feiqiang finally puts on clothes in a panic. Lin Luoran asks her to drag the unconscious maidservant to hide behind a pillar and not come out. Lin Luoran kicks the bucket full of water over to help them block arrows from another direction. The arrows are endless. Lin Luoran has to kill a group of people outside. Lin Luoran kicks down a low wall. Her figure floats over like a light smoke. Many people groan. Except for the fake village head, all the archers are knocked out by her knife hand. Everyone in the Mu family sees her like a god, including the guards who know a little kung fu. They have never seen anyone's martial arts skills reach such a level. Warrior Lin keeps a low profile for more than a month, but now she is so brilliant. Just how powerful was she? Everyone has the question in their mind. The fake village head keeps retreating and yells at Lin Luoran not to come over. Mu Qingshan's heart flashes with admiration, nervousness, inferiority and other emotions. Finally, he feels lucky. At this moment, he finally admires Mu Qinghua's sharp eyes. With the escort of warrior Lin, it is worthwhile for the Mu family to pay 50,000 taels of silver to make friends with such a strong person, let alone 5,000 taels of silver. Lin Luoran reaches out to grab the collar of the fake village head and knocks him out. She also knocks out a few sentries hiding in the dark. She says to Mu Qingshan, Mr. Mu, it is still not safe here. The enemy may have reinforcements. Let's leave quickly. After some verification, Lin Luoran's prophecy becomes more reliable than real gold. Mu Qingshan nods and asks people to search carefully. Sure enough, they find the antidote of bendin powder on the thief. Everyone takes it. A quarter of an hour later, everyone regains their strength. Mu Qingshan gathers the heavy crossbows together. When Mu Qingshan steps into the house, Mu Feiqiang's eyes are red. He is not in the mood to coax his niece. He picks up the broken crossbow arrow and asks Mu Feiqiang what weapon Lin Luoran used for these broken arrows. Mu Feiqiang answers that she used her hands. Mu Qingshan knows the meaning of releasing internal force better than his niece. He sighs. The Mu family is really lucky this time. Lin Luoran should have a great background in Penglai. Unfortunately, she didn't show her weapon in front of others. It seems that she really doesn't want to be recognized. Lin Luoran doesn't know the complicated thoughts in Mu Qingshan's mind. She gets on the carriage in the morning and puts the fake village head on the shaft. Mu Qingshan wakes up the little maid and comes out with Mu Feiqiang, whose eyes are red. The team finally sets off again. This time, the Mu team does not dare to stop. They change their route and choose to cross the mountains and bypass the closed city gate. Their primary goal is to leave this place first. Less than a quarter of an hour after they leave, the sound of horses' hooves breaks the silence of the night. The neatly dressed imperial army appears outside the village. The leading general is in black and most of his face is covered by a delicate silver mask. Only his sharp chin and thin lips are exposed. After checking the situation of the village, a subordinate wakes up a woman and takes her to the masked man to answer. The woman trembles and explains the situation. The masked man purses his lips tightly and his voice is a little magnetic and hoarse. You mean, the heavy crossbows were not intercepted and the Mu family took your boss away? And the cause of all this is just a woman. Oh, she is not afraid of arrows and is unarmed? These consecutive rhetorical questions make the woman tremble all over and she doesn't know where to start. Although what she says is true, when recalling everything she has experienced, even she has an illusion of a dream. How can she let the powerful man in front of her believe her? I believe you. The masked man slightly lowers his head. The woman is stunned and then she is very excited. Thank you, 7. The woman doesn't have a chance to say what she wants to say after the word 7 because she suddenly spits out blood. The silver-masked man has already cut off the woman's head with a wave of his hand. He wipes the blood on the wound and says to himself as if nothing has happened, I believe you, but I can't help you clean up the mess. A young and powerful female warrior. The silver-masked man thinks for a long time but he still can't think of such a person in the empire. He whispers a few orders and a small team has already left, chasing along the ruts. You clean up the mess. Don't leave any traces. Yes. In the night, the small village is soon set on fire. When the smoke dissipates, there are only charred corpses under the collapsed houses in the village. In the deep mountain more than 40 miles away, Lin Luoran withdraws her spiritual mind and suddenly opens her eyes. What a ruthless method. Cutting the weeds and eliminating the roots to silence them. None of the thieves who pretended to be villagers survived. As the old saying goes, people with sharp chins and thin lips are mostly determined but also cold-hearted. It seems that vicious should be added. She lifts the curtain of the carriage. The Mu caravan finally has a moment of relaxation after being tired for a whole night. Mu Qingshan is washing his face in a jar. Chapter 398. Mu Qingshan adjusts his mood and returns to the smiling fox with a flawless smile. Warrior Lin, I just want to ask you. How can you be so sure that there are bandits in the village last night? Mu Qingshan's smiling face makes Lin Luoran feel dizzy for a moment. She thinks of another person with a similar temperament, Lu Zheng. He was taken away by the crazy Taoist. She doesn't know if he has laid foundation now. Lin Luoran is only absent-minded for a moment. Then she smiles mysteriously. This smile dazzles Mu Qingshan. Of course, he doesn't come here to ask Lin Luoran why she knows there is an ambush in the village. A warrior who can release her inner strength has sharp ears that ordinary people can't imagine. What he wants to ask is the fake village head they caught last night. Lin Luoran puts him on the shaft of the carriage and shakes him all night, but he still hasn't woken up. Lin Luoran kicks him. The fake village head rolls on the ground for a few times. When he wakes up, his eyes are confused. After a while, he already knows that he is a captive. Thinking of Lin Luoran's martial arts, he has a lingering fear. Lin Luoran sees his eyes rolling around. She laughs and says, "Are you trying to make up some lies to fool us, or are you going to run away?" The fake village head pretends to be frightened. Lin Luoran ignores his flattery. She lifts the curtain and is boiling water to make tea. "If I were you, I would not run away at this time. Instead, I would tell you everything I know. I'm afraid you don't know that after the Mu caravan left last night, hundreds of horsemen came out of the city. None of your men in the village escaped alive. They were all burned into coke." The fake village head looks livid. He stares at Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran's movements are smooth and she is making tea. A pot of boiling water is poured in. The tea leaves are swirling in the cup. The soup changes color and the fragrance of tea is overflowing. Lin Luoran's face is not very clear because of the mist. However, her voice is low but extremely clear. The leader is a young man wearing a silver mask. He has a pointed chin and thin lips. Am I wrong? The fake village head's defense line finally collapses completely. He falls to the ground. They are indeed a gang of bandits. However, most of those village women and villagers are real couples. For example, the village chief's wife was the fake village chief's wife of many years. I don't know who he is. He paid us Black Wind's stronghold to do this business. Even the tendon softening powder was provided by them. I've only heard others call him Seventh Master. It's probably a ranking. When it comes to status, bandits like us aren't even worthy of meeting the nobles, so how could we know? The fake village chief murmurs. His bandit name is Zhang Dahe. He is a group of mountain bandits nearby, leading more than 200 people. It is not a small force. He was entrusted by someone to rob the Mu caravan, but he didn't expect that this time he will lose all his men and horses. Lin Luoran lets Dahe sit on the ground, feeling sad and hateful. She drinks the morning tea and then turns to Mu Qingshan, who is in a dilemma. She says, "Mr. Mu, I don't care who you transport this batch of crossbows for. I just want to tell you that the young man who ranks 7th dares to take the army out of the city to rob and kill. You should know who he is. I'm afraid that there is a mole in your Mu family. The original route can't be used anymore." Mu Qingshan can't hold his smile. This is a big deal. He doesn't dare to tell Lin Luoran the truth casually. Lin Luoran's last proposal is obviously beneficial. It's not a big deal to change the route. What he hesitates is that since the route has been changed, the backup arranged by the Mu family may not be needed. Does he really want to put all the hardships and dangers on the shoulders of the slender and tall warrior Lin in front of him? Mu Qingshan is hesitant. Lin Luoran throws another heavy bomb. I hate cruel people. Now there are a few small tales behind the caravan. Do you want me to solve them for you, by the way, or do you want to fight back? Do you want to fight back? Mu Qingshan thinks of the identity of the silver-masked young man. The Mu family can't hit a stone with an egg at all. However, when they chose to support the other side, they were destined to become the sworn enemy of the silver-masked young man. The two sides have been in a situation where they will fight to the death. Even the army has been mobilized. He is going to kill the Mu family. Mu Qingshan sneers. The emperor is still in his prime and he dares to do this. If he is really bold, why doesn't he learn from another nobleman and go to the battlefield to kill the enemy? He stays in the capital and wants to reap the benefits. Businessmen have a low status. It's another thing for them to be a big caravan like the Mu family. Mu Qingshan has been to many places and he is not a timid person. Lin Luoran's proposal makes him very tempted. Mu Qingshan doesn't think it's a big deal to frustrate the man if he can't kill him. Is there any way to fight back without killing too many people? After all, those soldiers are just following orders. Mu Qingshan is a little nervous. He also knows that his request is too difficult. However, Lin Luoran smiles mysteriously and nods at him. After breakfast, the guards of the Mu caravan all receive a strange task. The leader suddenly sends a few thin sheets of paper with some lifelike flowers and plants. They are asked to form a group to search for these flowers and plants all over the mountain. Everyone feels strange. They were attacked last night. Shouldn't they hurry away from here today? Why do they still pick up these useless flowers and plants? At first, they thought that Mu Feiqiang is being capricious again. However, they later learn that it is warrior Lin's request. They are all confused, but they no longer hesitate to act. Last night, Lin Luoran showed off her power. Her martial arts skills make these people who usually talk about warrior Lin being paid but doing nothing feel ashamed and admire her greatly. This is an era of the strong. Strength is respected and martial arts skills represent the absolute right to speak. The Mu family works together to search for flowers and plants all over the mountain. Even Mu Feiqiang and Zhang Dahe ask for a few sheets of paper. The former owes Lin Luoran a favor and doesn't know how to admit it. As for the latter, his resentment of being used and then silenced is probably supporting him. Lin Luoran's spiritual mind can almost cover the whole mountain. She is not afraid that Zhang Dahe will run away. She gives him a few pieces of white paper with flowers and plants. Lin Luoran draws the curtain and begins to close her eyes to rest. Zhang Dahe was overwhelmed by her trust, and his fingers that were holding the paper turned white. After an hour, the people of the Mu family come back one after another. Everyone has more or less picked a lot of herbs. Among them, Mu Feiqiang has picked the most. Regardless of the dirt staining her clothes, she uses her skirt to carry a bag of herbs back. Lin Luoran secretly laughs at the little girl's awkward look and waves to her. Mu Feiqiang looks awkward and feels guilty under Lin Luoran's gaze. After a while, she says, "Well, thank you for last night." Lin Luoran still stares at her expressionlessly. Mu Feiqiang blushes. She has thanked her. What else does this female warrior want from her? Mu Feiqiang is about to turn around and leave. Lin Luoran has had enough of her temperament and smiles. "Don't you want to take revenge for last night's humiliation?" Mu Feiqiang, the young lady of the Mu family, has been spoiled like a treasure since she was a child. She has only suffered a few setbacks in her life. Mu Feiqiang understands that she was controlled by Lin Luoran on the street of the county town because she was not as good as Lin Luoran. However, last night, she was drugged with the muscle-softening powder and was molested by two wretched mountain bandits. Mu Feiqiang doesn't say it, but every time she thinks of the obscene eyes of the two mountain bandits, she feels disgusted and wants to vomit. Can she take revenge herself? Mu Feiqiang has forgotten her previous grudge against Lin Luoran and nods excitedly. Lin Luoran asks someone to bring a large wooden bucket and fills it with warm water. She asks Mu Feiqiang to mash various herbs in the corresponding proportion and put them in the hot water. Mu Feiqiang holds her breath. Is warrior Lin also a pharmacist? She looks only in her early 20s. How can she know so much? Lin Luoran looks at Mu Feiqiang's progress and turns to Mu Qingshan, who has been hesitating to speak. Do you remember a steep canyon we passed when we went up the mountain? Mu Qingshan nods. He already knows what Lin Luoran is going to do. The place is so narrow that cars can barely pass through. If someone really chases them on horseback, they must pass through that place. Was this giving him a taste of his own medicine? Mu Qingshan looks at the bucket of potion made by his niece Mu Feiqiang under Lin Luoran's order. It is hard to imagine that young Lin Luoran is also a pharmacist besides amazing martial arts skills. However, is Feiqiang really reliable? Chapter 399. The Mu caravan is resting on that hill. They are repairing at the moment. The soldier who was ordered to follow the carriage tracks is reporting to the young man on the horse respectfully. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. They are far away from the west of Penglai and the four seasons are clear. The end of spring can still be seen. On both sides of the narrow canyon are daisies in spring. The light pink flowers are swaying in the wind. They are indescribably beautiful in the morning sun. Of course, a cold-blooded and ruthless man like the silver-masked man is not in the mood to enjoy the scenery at such a critical moment. He is also a man with good martial arts skills and excellent hearing. It is not difficult for him to hear the breathing sound from hundreds of meters away. The mountain flowers on both sides of the canyon are gorgeous and there is no ambush in the grass. A sneer appears on the masked man's lips. This is the best place for ambush. If he knew that the Mu caravan would change its route and choose this place to ambush, he wouldn't have to waste such a precious medicine as softening powder. However, it is not too late now. The Mu family can only suffer in silence because of the difference in their identities. The little girl of the Mu family is not bad looking. Why does she like my ninth brother? It's a pity that she can only be a concubine even if she is so rich. The masked man can't help but feel happy when he thinks that his ninth brother is going to marry an innocent woman of the Shang family as his concubine. Tell everyone to be careful. If there is any unusual movement, kill them. Yes. This team of about 300 cavalrymen begins to ride through the canyon. The masked man is a little vigilant when he thinks of the powerful female warrior mentioned in the intelligence. The clatter of horses' hooves echoes in the empty canyon. There is nothing unusual. A gust of wind passes and the light pink daisy petals fall with the wind. The valley is full of fallen flowers and the petals are stained with a lot of dew. The fragrance is so fragrant that it softens the hearts of the iron-blooded soldiers. Feeling that the team has slowed down, the masked man is dissatisfied and picks up a few petals. The dew is crystal and dazzling in the sun and the petals are also fragrant. This scene can be like a painting. The masked man has thrown away the petals but he suddenly freezes again. Spring is getting farther and farther away. It is early summer and the sun is a little strong. Why haven't the little dew dried yet? The young man's face under the silver mask twitches and he scolds angrily, "Go back, all go back." Should they retreat? The soldier was puzzled. Military orders were obeyed. More than 300 people retreated from the gorge after advancing halfway. There was not much panic, which showed the strict discipline of this small team. There were no ambushes or crossbows. The 300 or so people quickly retreated out of the canyon. There were no abnormalities in the places they had previously passed. The silver-masked man pursed his lips as he looked at the endless petals falling like rain. He was sure that his judgment was right. There was something wrong with the canyon. But why hadn't anything happened after such a long time? He blinked his eyes. The sky seemed to have darkened. Actually, it wasn't that the sky had suddenly darkened. It was that the silver-masked man had suddenly fallen off his horse. In the darkness, he heard a cold female voice speaking. "See, isn't this an eye for an eye?" When he woke up, he felt a little cold on his face. In a daze, he reached out to touch his face and found that the silver mask on his face had disappeared. This realization jolted him awake, and he remembered that he had fallen into an ambush at the canyon. The spring was gurgling. In the beautiful mountains, without the cover of the silver mask, Lin Luoran sat on the tree with her arms crossed and looked at the man in military uniform under the tree. He had a sharp chin and thin lips. He looked like the actor surnamed Mo who became popular in Huaxia with a TV series about the president a few years ago. Of course, if there was no cyan phoenix engraved between his eyebrows, he would look more masculine. Tattoos were certainly not popular at this time. Lin Luoran had checked and found that the cyan phoenix between his eyebrows was inborn. With such an obvious mark, no wonder he wore a silver mask. Thinking of the name Mu Qingshan whispered when he saw him, Lin Luoran looked at the noble who was at a loss under the tree with interest. Seventh Prince. The seventh prince suddenly looked up. The woman in cyan dress sitting on the branch with her hair tied up by a cyan ribbon is bending down and smiling at him. She was reflecting the green leaves and the blue sky and white clouds in the background. She was like a mountain elf. It was a very beautiful smile, but the seventh prince felt cold all over. Because the woman said slowly in an unhurried voice, "The seventh prince of the empire. Your biological mother was the daughter of a sinner. Later, she was promoted to concubining with a cyan phoenix between her eyebrows. The warlock said that he was against your father. He was sent out of the palace when he was a child, until concubining died of illness 2 years ago. You are really a talent to have the desire to seize the throne under such adversity." The seventh prince's eyes were full of gloom. "Are you the female warrior?" Lin Luoran didn't answer him directly. Her smiling face suddenly became cold. Wanting to seize the throne isn't a shameful wish. It's excusable to go back on one's word and act ruthlessly. After all, since ancient times, those who aren't ruthless won't be able to make it to the end in order to fight for the throne. The premise is that ruining a woman's innocence as a stepping stone is exactly what I hate. Well, it was very annoying. Not only because women were in a weak position, but also because she almost suffered similar injuries when she was a teenager. At that time, if it were not for Baojia, Lin Luoran couldn't imagine what would have happened in the dark alley near the school when she was 17. Seeing that the seventh prince was stunned, Lin Luoran was full of disgust. "Are you wondering how I know what you are thinking? I also know that you want to intercept this batch of weapons not only to stop your ninth brother from doing meritorious deeds. You have thought more than once that if the cavalry of Ing breaks the pass, they will destroy the royal family of Penglai, right?" The seventh prince snorted, "Nonsense." Lin Luoran jumped down from the tree. "Do you know that there is a kind of powder in this world that can make people speak the truth that they have suppressed in the bottom of their hearts? Everything I know is what you just told me." Lin Luoran pressed forward step by step, and every word she said hit the secret in his heart. The status of a pharmacist was no lower than that of a warrior. He never thought that someone who was powerful in martial arts could also have such an ability in medicine. But if he didn't believe it, how could he explain that she knew him so well? The people of the Mu family might recognize him, but there was absolutely no way to understand the secret thoughts in his heart. For example, the idea of asking the mountain bandits to ruin Mu Feiqiang's innocence and make the ninth prince lose face, which he couldn't say to others. He could guarantee that he had never said anything to anyone. Lin Luoran looked at him coldly and his expression changed. Finally, she gritted her teeth and said, "The Mu family is just a group of merchants. How can they move people like you? The winner takes all. Now that things have come to this, there is nothing else to say. You can ask for credit from the ninth brother." Lin Luoran smiled at him. "Seventh prince, I need to correct you 2 things. First, I am not sent by the ninth prince, nor do I belong to any faction. My only task is to protect the Mu caravan." The seventh prince stared at Lin Luoran with unpredictable emotions in his eyes. A bush not far away moved without wind. Lin Luoran turned her head. "Is it fun to hide?" After a while, a corner of her red dress was exposed. It was Mu Feiqiang and Mu Qingshan who were hiding and eavesdropping. Lin Luoran waved to Miss Mu. Mu Feiqiang was still immersed in the potion she made according to Lin Luoran's instructions. She remembered the proportion of herbs very well. She didn't realize how powerful the potion was until a group of 300 people fell to the ground and didn't wake up. It was just a very common medicinal herb in the mountains, but when mixed together, it had such an amazing effect. No wonder pharmacists had a status no lower than martial artists. If this kind of potion was used in war, wouldn't it be the so-called without bloodshed? What made Mu Feiqiang even more confused was how warrior Lin leaked such a powerful formula to her casually. Mu Feiqiang had been in a trance. She was asked to eavesdrop by Mu Qingshan, but she didn't take it seriously. Until Lin Luoran pointed out their whereabouts, she had to stand up. Many years later, Mu Feiqiang still remembered that the powerful warrior pointed at the seventh prince who had become a prisoner of the empire and asked her, "Second, I don't intend to kill you. Miss Mu, do you want such a person who deliberately destroys your innocence and happiness to live or to die? Do you want him to live or to die?" After being stunned for a while, Mu Feiqiang's eyes suddenly turned red. As a person who enjoyed all the wealth of the Mu family, she had a responsibility for some things. For example, the Mu family needed a link to support the ninth prince financially. The ninth prince wanted to take her as his concubine in order to appease the Mu family. Of course, the concubine of a prince was called a concubine. In fact, she was also a concubine. Who should she be apprenticed to? Should she learn needlework or accounting? Should she be someone's concubine? Who asked her if she wanted to? This was the first time that someone pointed at a noble of the royal family and told her that it was up to her to choose how to retaliate against the enemy, without considering the overall political situation and status. Let her vent her grievances. Chapter 400. People in this world will face different choices every day. You never know how long the choice at this moment will affect the future. Of course, Mu Feiqiang doesn't choose to kill the seventh prince. She is not a bad person and the Mu family's interest. Miss Mu is not stupid enough to make such a decision. Even if the seventh prince is not popular, he is still the prince of Penglai. If the Mu family kills him, it will reveal some clues. This kind of crime of murdering the royal family is enough to make the Mu family collapse. However, this person is ruthless and insidious. He deliberately insults people. As a daughter of the Shang family, Mu Feiqiang is really unwilling to be humiliated. After hearing that there is a potion that can make people forget what happened in a certain period of time, Mu Feiqiang makes a very bold decision. Well, it's really bold. At least Lin Luoran is impressed by Mu Feiqiang. In order to retaliate against the seventh prince for what he did to the Mu family, Mu Feiqiang, who is the most frightened person, decides to temporarily send the seventh prince to Lin Luoran as her servant. Of course, Lin Luoran doesn't need a personal servant. The seventh prince named Sang Yi spends most of his time as a horse breeder of the caravan after his personal ability is sealed. Therefore, his real job should be a groom. The Mu caravan also has a newly hired groom for free, Zhang Dahe. The seventh prince Sang Ye's life is predictably difficult. Looking at his aggrieved eyes, Lin Luoran sneers. Sang Yi should be glad that she hasn't told Zhang Dahe that his wife was beheaded by Sang Yi. The carriage bumps on the difficult lane. Lin Luoran is no longer in the carriage. Wood Wolf said that there is a secret spell called soul searching which is very useful for interrogating cultivators. Lin Luoran is going to study it. Of course, the drawback was that when the mortals were being interrogated, their consciousness would collapse and they would become idiots due to the fragility of the mortals' bodies. Was this the subtle difference between the spells of the demon race and the spells of the human race? Lin Luoran remembers that White Fairy's memory bead mentioned a kind of soul searching. Although it is also not open and aboveboard, it does not have such a sequela. It seems more magnificent. No matter which dynasty it is, the secrets are always in the hands of the privileged class. Since you have mastered the soul-searching spell, isn't it better to start with the seventh prince? Wood Wolf tries to persuade Lin Luoran to learn its soul-searching spell. Lin Luoran sits on the swing and eats strawberries. She doesn't want to admit that she is a little bit moved. However, cultivators are not completely free from taboos. Attacking mortals who have not provoked cultivators will eventually become demons inside. Not to mention this, Lin Luoran's code of conduct is not so low. Lin Luoran sees Wood Wolf trying to persuade it again and again. She knows that it is afraid that Fire Phoenix and Silver Fish are not as important in her heart because it only cares about herself. Therefore, it provides the bolus formula and takes the initiative to teach her the soul-searching spell. Wood Wolf is so annoying that Lin Luoran has to learn the soul-searching spell. However, she doesn't do anything to Sang Yi. Facing the three big monsters who laugh at her kindness, Lin Luoran says, the seventh prince is not favored in the first place. Why don't we find the ninth prince? Lin Luoran is seriously despised after saying this. The ninth prince is powerful, but he is not as powerful as the king of a country. It is better for her to find the emperor of Penglai. Lin Luoran rolls her eyes and begins to cultivate in the space. A few days later, Lin Luoran is thinking about how to use the soul-searching spell on ordinary people without making mistakes. The Mu caravan has changed to the waterway and boarded the sea ship. The sea is vast. It is really like looking for a needle in a haystack for the seventh prince's reinforcements to find him. He has to be more and more obedient. Seeing the young man with the cyan phoenix birthmark covered being ordered by Zhang Dahe to do this and that, Mu Qingshan is full of worries. He is not worried that Sang Yi is disobedient, but he is too obedient. People who are willing to endure will one day break out and make everyone look at them with new eyes. In a word, Fourth Master Mu is worried about whether the potion that Lin Luoran said can make people forget a certain memory is really so effective. Mu Feiqiang is sent to ask this question. In Mu Qingshan's view, if Lin Luoran didn't ask Mu Feiqiang to mix the potion last time, her niece and warrior Lin are already half-teacher. It's not that the Mu family is shameless enough to take advantage of others. Whether in Penglai or Ying, it's an established rule. For unique secret skills such as martial arts and medicament, it's enough to influence people's whole life if they are taught one or two. Mu Feiqiang asks Mu Qingshan's worries in a roundabout way. Lin Luoran feels that the Mu family worries too much. In fact, there is a safer way. Since you have chosen to support the ninth prince, when he ascends the throne, it doesn't matter whether the seventh prince remembers today's humiliation or not. Mu Feiqiang doesn't really understand. Lin Luoran looks around and takes the brush she bought before boarding the ship. Soon, she draws a lifelike branch on the rice paper. Mu Feiqiang holds her breath. She looks expectant and nervous. Is this a tree? Lin Luoran shakes her head. It is called ox vine. It is also a medicine. It is good for relieving pain and reducing edema. Mu Feiqiang knows that Lin Luoran is teaching her the knowledge of potions. She stares at the rice paper carefully. Lin Luoran draws a piece and says, ox vine is best to be harvested in summer or autumn. Leave the stems and leaves, leave the roots and whiskers, slice and dry in the sun. As for poria, it is said to be the magic medicine of 4 seasons. It grows in the roots of Masan pine and red pine. Mu Feiqiang stares at the dark thing and asks confusedly, aren't all pine trees the same? Miss Mu is a fairy. She doesn't need to do anything herself. Lin Luoran laughs and draws the difference between Masan pine and red pine. In the sound of waves, Lin Luoran sits on the primitive ship and occasionally tells Mu Feiqiang about the effects of several herbs. Her life is very leisurely. Of course, if the seventh prince named Sang Yi doesn't secretly look at her with gloomy eyes, Lin Luoran will be in a better mood. She takes the initiative to teach Mu Feiqiang about potions and saves the Mu caravan once. In Mu Qingshan's heart, Lin Luoran is no longer a hired strange warrior. Lin Luoran has gained the trust of the Mu family. Lin Luoran thinks maybe she should choose a good time to reveal the target she is looking for to the Mu family. The intelligence network of a big business is better than looking for a needle in a haystack by herself. On the 7th day of sailing, the always sticky and salty air on the sea has made the 7th Prince Sang Yi lose his previous cold arrogance. His hair is messy and his clothes are dirty because of sweat. Without the lifelike cyan phoenix between his eyebrows, Sang Ye's enchanting face becomes ordinary. He is pulling the sail at this moment. Today's wind is favorable. Mu Qingshan expects to arrive at Tianshui port at dusk. It is very close to the border of Ying and it is already within the sphere of influence of the 9th prince. After Lin Luoran finishes her self-cultivation, Mu Feiqiang is absorbing the knowledge of herbs. She has no time to pester her. Lin Luoran asks Zhang Dahe to find a fishing rod and play sea fishing. The wind and waves of the sea are mysterious and unpredictable for the people of Penglai who have no technology and personal ability. Fishing usually depends on pulling nets or directly picking up small fish and shrimps after the tide ebbs. Sea fishing is just something for people who are very leisurely and carefree to have fun. If people really want to catch fish to eat, they must be very hungry. However, Lin Luoran is fishing today. Coincidentally, Mr. Lin knows this very well. Lin Luoran finds a small fish in the cabin and cuts it. She directly ties it with a fishing line and throws it into the seemingly calm sea. The ship is moving forward at a steady pace. The people of the Mu caravan have no doubt that Lin Luoran can catch fish like this. To quote a famous magician that Lin Luoran knows, now is the time to witness a miracle. Feeling that something bites the bait, Lin Luoran doesn't startle the snake. When the thing bites the bait, Lin Luoran flicks her wrist. A silver light cuts through the blue water. Someone in the Mu family guard screams. She catches a fish. A tuna. Lin Luoran is happy. She gives the fishing rod to Zhang Dahe to continue fishing. She cleans her hands and puts a chopping board on the deck. She cuts the tuna into extremely thin slices. Sashimi can be made from sea fish. The meat is tender and has no earthy smell. Salmon is not the only fish that can make sashimi. Lin Luoran doesn't know how to make mustard, but it doesn't matter. She can just use soy sauce and ginger. Huaxia has a tradition of eating fresh fish slices for a long time. This delicacy is not unique to Neon. Obviously, people of Penglai have never eaten it. Mu Feiqiang looks at a clumsy kitchen knife flying up and down, carving carrots into delicate flowers. The carrots are placed on a white porcelain plate with pieces of crystal fish. It looks so beautiful. Mu Feiqiang swallows. Is this edible? Lin Luoran dips the ginger and soy sauce and soon eats the last piece of sashimi. Mu Feiqiang bravely grabs the sashimi and also dips it in seasoning like Lin Luoran. She closes her eyes and throws it into her mouth. After smacking it twice, Mu Feiqiang can't believe it when she opens her eyes. How to describe the wonderful taste? It seems that she has to taste it again. Uncle, let's catch more fish, shall we? Hearing Miss Mu's words, people on the deck suddenly swallow their saliva secretly. Can raw sashimi be so delicious? Everyone stares at Zhang Dahe. The tough bandit, who is fishing, straightens his chest and feels that the fishing rod in his hand has become very glorious and proud. He has never experienced this feeling before, including the Mu caravan forgiving him and letting him work. Although it is tiring, his life is stable. He has lost the fun of killing fat sheep, but he is not afraid of the soldiers' encirclement. Zhang Dahe wants to live like this for the rest of his life. However, without the protection of warrior Lin, will the seventh prince let him go? A sense of defeat rose in Zhang Dahe's heart. Footsteps stopped beside him, and he heard a very gentle female voice. The world is so big. A man can go anywhere. This time we are going to the border. You can choose to go to Ing to start a new life. What? Ing? Zhang Dahe feels that seawater splashes into his eyes. Does a person like him deserve a new life? Maybe only this powerful warrior Lin, who looks indifferent but is actually kind, can have such an idea. Chapter 401. Tianshui Port relies on Tianshui city and sea trade. It is very prosperous. It was a famous trading port before the war between Penglai and Ing. However, 2 months ago, Ing started a war with Penglai and Ying's merchant ships are prohibited from docking here. They don't have to hide all the way. After entering the 9th prince's sphere of influence, the Mu caravan's ship docks openly. A group of military teams is waiting for them. The leader is a deputy general. He greets Mu Qingshan and directs people to carry things. They still claim that they are transporting grain. The Mu caravan supports the front line with grain free of charge. Shipwrights secretly praise the Mu family for their loyalty to the country. Although the front line of the war is not far from Tianshui city, Tianshui port only prohibits Ying's merchant ships. It is related to the daily attacks of several inland cities, so the port is still very busy. The deputy general's surname is Wu. He is the 9th prince's henchman. Receiving this batch of heavy crossbows is obviously of great significance. His dark face is happy and relaxed. However, when he sees Sang Yi without the cyan phoenix birthmark coming down from the ship with the Mu family, Lin Luoran sees that Deputy General Wu's mouth is crooked. Lin Luoran can't bear to see the iron-blooded soldier twitching, so she turns her eyes to one side. The port is prosperous. Shipwrights and merchants come and go. Most of them are grain carriers. Although the name of Tianshui City is moving, in fact, the water drilled from the deep well is alkaline water. It is very astringent, not to mention the hard land. Lin Luoran has already talked about it with her spiritual mind on the ship. The saline alkali land can't produce food at all. She doesn't know why Ying spends so much effort to attack it. There is a man selling hand-rolled noodles on a pole. Lin Luoran stops him and buys a bowl. The noodles are very chewy and the scallion oil is also very fragrant. However, the water used to cook the noodles tastes astringent. Lin Luoran takes a few bites and chats with the vendor. She asks about local legends. This is already the extreme north of Penglai. It is extremely stuffy and even the sea breeze is salty. The port is either shipping or unloading goods. It is dirty and messy. Everyone's clothes are sweaty. They have never seen a woman like Lin Luoran who looks like she comes out of the deep sea. They all surround her to sell their goods. Buy candy and get fruit. Lin Luoran hasn't spent all her money yet. She holds a bunch of small things in her hands, such as fruit, candy, and egg pancakes. These are all legends she has heard along the way. Lin Luoran feels helpless. The Mu family has finished their goods and invites Lin Luoran to go to the camp with them. Mu Qingshan certainly did not dare to ask her to leave before the 7th prince's business was settled. A fish and prawn seller picked out the dead prawns and said, "What you're talking about is what happened later. Those immortals from thousands of years ago all came from an immortal mountain." Lin Luoran is stunned and tries to calm down. She pretends to be curious and asks the fishmonger about the spirit mountain. However, the fishmonger doesn't know much about it. He says that he heard it from a businessman from Ying who came to Tianshui port to do business a few years ago. Sang Ye's eyes flicker. Lin Luoran doesn't miss the emotion in his eyes. Could it be that this 7th prince has also heard of the legend of the immortal mountain? The way Lin Luoran stares at him makes Sang Ye feel creepy. The front line of the war between the two countries passed through Tianshui City. They only arrived at the camp when the sky was completely dark. The 9th prince is the nobleman of the royal family. His tent is heavily guarded. Penglai is guarding Ningbei City, which is a natural stronghold. Ningbei is the capital of Penglai. The struggle among the upper class of Penglai affects the war on the front line. If the 9th prince had not guarded Ningbei, the prosperity of Tianshui port would have been gone long ago. Mu Qingshan wants to introduce Lin Luoran to the 9th prince very much. However, she is not from here and she has no intention to meet the most popular future king of Penglai. Instead, she asks Sang Yi to stay. Mu Feiqiang comes here on behalf of the Mu family to unite by marriage. She is very nervous about the 9th prince whom she has never met. Lin Luoran is not in the mood to comfort her. She takes Sang Yi to the carriage and asks bluntly, "Do you know the legend of the Spirit Mountain?" Sang Ye's eyes flicker and he doesn't respond to Lin Luoran. Well, she is wrong about him. In addition to being able to bear hardships, the 7th prince also has the pride of the royal family subconsciously. Wood Wolf howls in the space. Lin Luoran uses the soul-searching spell. Soul-searching spell. Do you want me to use the truth-inducing potion again or to read your mind directly? Sang Yi continues to stare at her expressionlessly. Suddenly, he lowers his mouth. Lin Luoran thinks he is going to compromise. The next second, a sharp scream comes from his mouth. His voice is sharp like a woman stepping on a cockroach. Lin Luoran sneers, you wait until we arrive at the military camp to rebel and reveal your identity. Do you think the 9th prince dares not to kill you in public? Sang Yi doesn't answer and his face is cold. Who is over there? It's the carriage of the caravan. I don't care. Go and have a look. A small group of soldiers with spears surround the carriage. Lin Luoran moves her fingertips slightly and a protective shield invisible to ordinary people is propped up in the carriage. The carriage has been surrounded. Seeing that Lin Luoran still doesn't stop him, Sang Yi says in a deep voice, I am ordered by my father to reward the frontline army. Go and inform the 9th brother to accept the decree. You, go and lift the curtain to have a look. She doesn't answer respectfully as he expected. It seems that she is still questioning his identity. Sang Yi is quite annoyed and he is secretly surprised that Lin Luoran doesn't stop him. Is this woman really fearless? Someone lifts the curtain with a spear. Several people look at him. Sang Yi seems to be very calm but his palms are overflowing with fine sweat. He has no proof of identity at this time and the mark of Cyan Phoenix is also covered by Lin Luoran. If the 9th prince doesn't admit his identity and executes him as an assassin, he will inevitably be blamed by his father after returning to the capital. However, he is already dead. What's the point of fighting? Sang Yi steals a glance at Lin Luoran. This female warrior is very calm. She is the strongest woman he has ever met. He doesn't know how she joined the 9th brother's camp. Sang Yi suddenly feels scared. Is it because the army in the north has been completely controlled by the 9th brother that the female warrior is not afraid? I am the 7th emperor. The word, prince, is still in his mouth when the curtain is suddenly put down. He is not in this carriage. Let's go and have a look elsewhere. Yes. Sang Ye's mouth is dry. How is it possible? There is a bonfire in the barracks and 2 living people are sitting in a narrow carriage. Are these patrolling soldiers blind? He turns his head to look at Lin Luoran. She smiles sweetly. In this dim light, she looks like a charming banshee. Well, it seems that you have to choose the latter method. What should I do? It is the first time for me to use it. The human brain is very important. If I am not careful, I will become an idiot, Sang Yi shudders. She is not a warrior at all. The strange scene happening in front of her is already strange. She is talking about, directly reading thoughts in the brain. It is obviously sorcery. Do you mean that you once read an old book in a dilapidated attic in the palace when you were a child about a spirit mountain with the same name as the country? The night wind blows the curtain. Sang Yi nods and his forehead is full of sweat. Lin Luoran ponders for a moment and her slender fingers knock on the carriage a few times. What about the book? Did you burn it? Sang Yi is stunned. He was thinking about how to make Lin Luoran believe it. Why does she ask it herself? It doesn't matter if it is burned or not. As long as the people who have read it are still here. Who knows if you are lying or not? It seems that I have to use the old way to verify it. Lin Luoran's fingertips burst into a subtle brilliance. Sang Ye's eyebrows jump. You can't read my thoughts directly. You want to find that spirit mountain. If I become an idiot, you can't find it. It has a lot to do with me, with the Cyan Phoenix birthmark between my eyebrows. I have been looking for it all these years. The brilliance in Lin Luoran's palm goes out and she somewhat believes Sang Ye's words. If talking about Spirit Mountain is nonsense, the probability of knowing the name of Peng Lai is very small. The Cyan Phoenix birthmark between Sang Ye's eyebrows is really weird. It is not dyed but naturally formed. Let's go. We will set off right away. Lin Luoran jumps out of the carriage and Sang Yi follows her slowly. He finds that people around turn a blind eye to them and he really gives up. Lin Luoran looks at the brightly lit tent not far away. Finally, she has a clue about Mount Peng Lai. Of course, she is not in the mood to deal with these mortal things anymore. There is a small tent assigned to Mu Feiqiang. Thinking of getting along with Mu Feiqiang for more than a month, Lin Luoran thinks this girl is a little arrogant, but she is kind. It is rare to see a lady who is flexible. Lin Luoran smiles and leaves the box with 12 flower hairpins. She leaves a note and takes Sang Yi out of the camp easily. They go to Tianshui City where they came from. Chapter 402. Lin Luoran spends 5 taels of silver and asks for 2 superior rooms in the inn. This place is close to the harbor. She opens the wooden window and feels the salty sea breeze. The porridge is made of rice. There are crystal goose breast, sauced beef, and more seafood dishes such as loofah scallops and roasted sea cucumber on the table. From west to north, Lin Luoran has crossed the territory of Penglai. She knows a lot about the prices here. Such a table alone costs 1 tael of silver. 3 taels of silver including board and lodging is not expensive at all. More or less, it is affected by the war. Such a good room near the harbor must be more expensive than this. Lin Luoran picks a pickled melon with sesame seeds. It is sour, salty, refreshing and a little spicy. Eating it with porridge can suppress the astringency. Sang Yi is now a royal family in dire straits. He has a bumpy journey and works as a servant every day. He is still very reserved when he sees delicious food. Lin Luoran doesn't abuse prisoners. She asks someone to bring hot water for Sang Yi to take a bath. She casually changes into new clothes bought by a servant in the inn. She is the handsome 7th prince again. Now we can talk about Mount Penglai, Wang Yao said. Lin Luoran makes a cup of hot tea. It is the best tiguanyan. The soup is golden and it tastes refreshing. Sang Yi takes a sip and frowns. I have never drunk this kind of tea. Sang Yi puts down the teacup and makes a conclusion. You are not from Penglai. Lin Luoran neither nods nor denies. You have been looking for Spirit Mountain these years. You must have gained something, right? Sang Yi shakes the teacup. I will take you to Penglai. What about my benefits? Lin Luoran frowns slightly. The 7th prince is putting on airs again. Sure enough, some people can't eat good food and wear good clothes. He was quite honest when he was doing hard work on the sea. She flicks a spark from her fingertips and it goes to the teacup in Sang Ye's hand. Sang Yi hurriedly drops the teacup. The spark swallows the fine porcelain teacup. The cup and the water evaporate in front of Sang Ye's eyes. I don't mind killing when necessary. Not to mention that your words are not true. If the cyan phoenix birthmark is useful, just cut off the flesh between my eyebrows. Don't test my bottom line. Lin Luoran leaves the guest room and goes to another room. Sang Yi is still in shock. How can a person's fingers emit fire and the flame is so powerful? She wasn't a martial arts master at all. She was more like the immortals recorded in the old books he read when he was young. Sang Yi takes a delicate tube from his hair bun. He is not sure whether to send a signal or not. He was able to return to the palace from the imperial mausoleum, and he dared to use the garrison troops to rob and kill the merchant caravans. Of course, he did not lack forces and supporters in the dark. Even in the northernmost Tianshui city, there were several hidden posts. Sang Ye's hesitation at this time is not only because of Lin Luoran's powerful strength. He suspects that this is also an opportunity for him to ascend to the throne. If she can really find Mount Penglai, it won't be too difficult for her, right? Sang Ye's eyes flashed, but he still hid the iron pipe in his hair bun. After a night of cultivation, Lin Luoran feels refreshed when she opens the door. It's still early in the morning and the sea breeze is mild. There are people selling hot dumplings at Tianshui port. The grain transport ship is unloading goods. The boatmen have been working for half a day. A bowl of steaming dumplings can relieve their fatigue for half a day. Sang Yi thinks for a night and finally decides to cooperate. The first thing he says to Lin Luoran is, we need to prepare dry food and water. Lin Luoran is eating a bowl of dumplings with chili oil. She nods vaguely and asks Sang Yi to have breakfast. People on this continent don't eat chili. Sang Yi only smells a kind of spicy fragrance. Looking at the red soup, he chooses the clear dumplings. The two of them eat dumplings. Lin Luoran gives some silver to the inn servant and someone prepares food and water for her. This is mainly for the sake of Sang Yi. She has space. Even if she doesn't eat or drink, she won't starve to death as a bearing essence cultivator. Where is that place? It used to belong to Penglai. It was occupied by Ying hundreds of years ago. It will take more than a month to travel by land and we have to pass by the place where the two countries are fighting. The waterway is twice faster and it is easier to find it. Then let's go by water. It will take more than a month to travel by land. Penglai used to have a large area. Unfortunately, its descendants are not up to expectations. Almost half of its territory has been lost. Sang Yi has said that he is going to see. The inn servant wraps the dry food in craft paper. It is all cakes and steamed buns so that they can stay for a long time in the sultry weather. There are also several bags of fresh water. They are all packed in leather bags. Sang Yi seems to think it is too little. Lin Luoran lets him carry all the water and they go to the port. He wants to find a big ship. Lin Luoran ignores him. She buys a small fishing boat and goes out to sea after the big merchant ship. The seventh prince frowns. He thinks of the storm on the sea. How can this small boat resist it? But now Lin Luoran is in charge and he doesn't express his opinion. He remembers that she fished for sea fish on the deck that day. He wonders if Lin Luoran doesn't care about raw food. Or immortals don't eat. Maybe she is just a warlock who knows how to make elixirs and camouflage. The boat goes to an uninhabited place. Sang Yi suddenly sees a delicate bone boat in Lin Luoran's hand. It is a delicate model about an inch long. Sang Yi only sees a flash of light in Lin Luoran's hand. The small bone boat grows with the wind and becomes as big as the fishing boat they are on. Sang Yi's pupils shrink. The soldiers in the camp can't see them and the fire from her fingers to burn the cup is just a camouflage. What about this jade-like bone boat? It is impossible for her to hide such a big boat with her. Sang Yi's previous doubts have disappeared. Lin Luoran is either a monster or an immortal. He just doesn't know why she is looking for the spirit mountain. Lin Luoran is keenly aware that the arrogant seventh prince becomes docile. She has a tacit understanding and drags Sang Yi onto the bone boat. She casts a spell and the bone boat shoots out like a sword. It surfs on the vast sea. Sang Yi has long been stunned. The bone boat is extremely fast. Occasionally, it passes by a group of merchant ships. Those fast merchant ships can only see its shadow in the corner of their eyes. It should take 7 days to travel. However, it only takes less than 1 day to see the land wherein has passed. Lin Luoran needs to take the sailing route into consideration. Otherwise, it will be faster. They set off from Tianshui port in the morning and arrive at Ying in the evening. Sang Yi can't even imagine such a speed before. When he is eating fried pancakes at noon, Lin Luoran is eating steaming grilled fish with the red oil seasoning in the morning. It is very delicious. She also makes a watermelon out of thin air. When she asks Sang Yi to eat it, he doesn't eat it. No one knows where this watermelon comes from. Sang Yi is still naturally cautious. Lin Luoran doesn't point it out. She quietly boards a boat near a port in Ying according to Sang Yi's words. Different from the lush Tianshui port, this new port is not small but it is a little depressed. Lin Luoran feels strange. When they get on the shore, the inns on the street all drive them out as if they are avoiding the plague when they hear her accent. In the end, the owner of a carriage and horse shop can't stand the temptation of money and arranges a bed for them. The peddler's mule and horse neighs in the yard. The owner brings them steaming vermicelli soup. Unlike the inn, the carriage and horse shop are originally a place for small businessmen to rest. Everything is simple. Lin Luoran doesn't need to rest, But Sangyi, as an ordinary person, has to sleep and eat. Lin Luoran can't be picky. Thinking of the depression in the city, she asks the owner. The middle-aged man is a little scared and tells Lin Luoran that a plague has broken out in Ing and it is spreading to coastal cities. Therefore, the people in the city are very wary of outsiders. You're tuning into the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.